Hello, it's Rufio.
Hi. Hi.
I'm a streamer for the 100 Devs stream team. 100 Devs is a full stack software engineering bootcamp and agency. If you want to learn web dev for free, the link will be in the description below. In this VOD, I talk about the CYC conference. CYC stands for Commit Your Code. The conference is fairly new. It's put on by Danny Thompson and the Dallas software developers. This was its second year of running. I found out about this conference through the programming podcast, which I will also link in the description below. You can find their podcast on YouTube, Spotify, a bunch of other places as well. I get rated by the 100 devs, so there are a lot more viewers than normal, and I'm a little overwhelmed at the beginning, you can tell. But we talk about CYC. There are a bunch of people in chat who were there with me. It was my second conference ever. And then after that, we do the tried and true coding challenge. Except with the additional people, I'm persuaded to do a 6Q, which is normally something I don't attempt. And we do it. We successfully solve it together and do some learning, and you know, it's a little challenging, but it's good. It's a good time. And then after that, we just chat as per the usual. I hope you enjoy this video. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see on VOD or on my channel. Peace. I'm waiting for y'all. Hi. I'm waiting for y'all. Hi. Oh no, I can hear myself. Wait a second. Can you guys can't hear me hearing me, right? You guys can't hear me hearing me, right? You guys can't hear me hearing me, right? You can hear me, but it popped in earlier. Oh, okay, wait a second. We're gonna change it. You can hear me, but this would happen when I have a raid. We're gonna change it. This would happen when I have a raid. Wait, can you hear me now? Oh, that's worse. Maybe? Would happen when I have a raid. Wait, can you hear me now? Oh, that's worse. Anyway, hi. You kind of like it. Ah, I don't like it. Anyway, hi. Why can I hear me twice? Wait, test. Oh, I think we're good. I can still hear me twice. Dogs. Can you hear me twice? You can't now. Go. Good. Okay. That's fine. I'll just listen to myself talk. That's what I like to do anyway. Thank you for the gifted subs. Yeah, I think it's what my settings are, but I'm afraid to change them because I don't want you to not hear me. As long as you can't hear it, we're good. How is everyone? How is the huddle? Oh my god, I'm driving myself crazy. I can't listen to this. Be quiet, Rufio. The more the better. Glad to hear it. It's okay. It's all good. I muted myself, so I can't hear me. Try headphones. There they are. I'm good. Wow. I forgot what it's like to have this many people in chat. Lots of sleeping post CYC still. Hey, everyone who went to CYC, will you drop a hi in the chat? Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the sub. Whoa. Jasper, thank you for the gifted subs. And Valorant, and Leon, and Akon, and Pumpkin, and Indifferent. Oh my god, look at how many of you are in chat. Rufio sings A Killer Killing Me Softly in karaoke. Nobody else knew Killing Me Softly. Can you believe that, y'all? Or very few people knew it. Yeah, I was also... There weren't that many people singing it. I was like, dogs, I'll sing it. How do we not know this? How do we not know this beautiful song? Non-judgmentally, of course. Yes, Roberta Flack, yes. Whoa. Thank you for all the subs and the follows. There are too many of you doing it for me to address you all. So today we are doing two things. We're talking about CYC. Are you ready for my Superman moment? Also, I'm going to take it off because I just got really hot because I'm nervous. We're going to talk about CYC for those who were there, for those who weren't there. Whatever you all want to say in regards to that, we can say. I'll tell you my experience, and we will also be doing a coding challenge. What would you like to do first? You totally forgot to buy one. There were lots left over. If you reach out to Danny, maybe, or the Dallas software developers, I hear that that's where they might end up from cleanup. Feel the FOMO, suckers. Let's not start with homework. You want to talk about CYC? Okay. People at CYC were friendly. You're right. So, CYC, what is it for those who weren't at CYC? It is a Commit Your Code conference put on by Danny Thompson and the Dallas software developers group in Dallas. They did it last December as far as I know, and then pulled it off 9 months later, again, just last week. I streamed right before it a week ago, and then I spent the next 12 hours in transit. Thank you, Frontier. There were a couple things that happened the day 0. So I heard that there was pickleball. There was also, I think, a meetup that I'm sure some people here went to. And if you did, let us know how it went. Coding challenges and then spill the tea. Oh, okay. Do we need to do a poll? Because I'm getting divided input here. The truck yard. Thank you. Really good ribeye nachos. That sounds really good. Do I remember how to do polls? Poll. I do. That's it. We're doing this. CYC debrief or coding challenge first. CYC debrief, coding challenge. All right, I'm starting the poll. If you have any opinions whatsoever about it, please vote. Nachos at 2 a.m. Whoa. The truck yard was your first time singing karaoke? Nice. All right, I'm getting a lot more for the CYC debrief. We still have some time. But it's looking, we're like 70% CYC debrief. So let's just do that because I don't think it's going to change in the next 20 seconds. So there was the truck yard, as everyone is saying, and pickleball. I never played pickleball before. I used to clean the PE building at my university. And I would be there at like 5 or 6 in the morning. And the old people who played pickleball would also be there. And every time I went in to clean the drinking fountains, they were like, hey, come play with us. And I was like, thank you, I'm working. But that's very nice. You attended virtually, took a nap like you're back in school, and lifted your head to wake up still watching a talk. Very nice. Sweeping up the pickle guts. Thank you. I hate that. Used to be called paddleball. That makes sense. There was a toilet seat museum. What? And then the second day started really early. So it started at 8. I guess that's not really early, but I was up at like 6:30, which I guess is also not that early, but it was for me, given that it was 5:30 in the morning for me. And then I went, if you all remember, the reason why I went to CYC is I was on hiatus from everything coding. And then my sister's boyfriend lost his job at Accenture or was between projects. And then I was like, I heard about the CYC conference. You should go. And he was like, and I was like, I'll go with you if you go. And he decided to go. And so I went with him. So we were getting ready and I told him I was a volunteer for the first day. So I was like, we got to be there at 7:45. We left at 7:50. It was okay. And then there was a welcome table. Danny was there. I shook Danny's hand. I was like, hi, I'm Rufio. And then I ran to the merch table because I was like, dude, this thing already started. Like, I got to get there right now. And indeed, it had started. And I also wasn't sure what was going on. There were some other volunteers there. They were really nice. And it was a little bit tricky, the setup or the payment for the merch table. It was like through buying a ticket and you had to fill out all this information for it. But we eventually figured it out. And I did the volunteering kind of incidentally. Like, they asked for some volunteers last minute and I was like, why not? Like, I guess I can do that. But it was really cool because I got to meet a lot of people that way. Like, everyone was buying shirts. It was the first session of the conference, the first day, and everyone's coming to get a shirt. And so, and a book. They were also selling books there. So that was great. And it was really cool. I was so nervous about meeting y'all in person. But it was very cool to be there and people be like, Rufio? And I was like, yeah, hi, it's me. And they're like, hi, I've been watching you. Or they've said, I heard of your name before. Either way, it was very, very humbling. Yes, this is CYC. No one could tell I was nervous. I was so excited to see me at the merch table. First time IRL. Rufio was amazing helping walking me through buying my shirt and book. Thank you. I'm going to add it to my resume, I think. That was you. You were like, you look familiar. You weren't the only one. Yeah. You're so grateful. I didn't look at you weird and go, okay, crazy lady, chill. Nah, I was so excited. I was so nervous to meet everyone till I got there. And then I was so excited. I don't know. I've been hiding in my house for the past 2 years with minimal social contact with everyone else. Like, minimal. Never talking to anyone. And I forgot how much I love talking to people. I loved it. By the time you got to the merch table, I was gone. Did you get to say hi to me? Did we get to say hi? I ended up being one of the people that you hung out with most, and it was great. Rufio is taller than me. Hey, fun fact, y'all. My camera is up, and apparently it makes me look short. Nothing wrong with being short. I'm 5'10". Social isolation gang. You had to leave early? Damn. You heard... Sorry, I'm scrolling back up. I think there were things I missed. You heard they can't use the venue again, so Danny isn't certain for the next one. You hope he finds a good spot. You'd make the trip next time. You found about it a little last minute. Yeah, I hope that they do it next year. We'll see. I hear that cohort 3 is contingent on there being another CYC, so we'll see how it goes. And if it does happen again, would love to see you all there. I'm planning on going again if it happens. It was great. I really liked it. I really liked meeting everyone. It just made me so happy. What sessions did I like? You're catching up on the streams for the neat sessions you missed. So I ended up going to maybe 4 to 5 talks. Only 4 to 5 talks. They did a cool thing with the volunteers where you would volunteer for 4 to 5 hours and then be done. Except I don't know if they were the assigned volunteers for the merch table never showed up. And there were people there that are like, I got this. But they also kept drifting off places, which was fine. But I was like, I have found a purpose and I'm gonna do it and I will be here. And then Mind Wolf came up and was like, Rufio, why are you still over here? And I was like, well. And then she's like, I'm gonna complain to Danny. And then she must have complained to Danny because I had like both Danny and the person in charge of all the volunteers come up to me and be like, Rufio? Get out of here. Like, go watch the conference. It was very nice of them. That's why Danny said stop asking for cohort 3. Yes, exactly. Basically, we all learned at CYC that Rufio is tall. Stop volunteer. Yeah, it gave me a lot of purpose in my heart, and I really enjoyed it. It also meant that I didn't go to the majority of the talks for the first day. So, favorite talk, Mind Wolf's. I know it sounds biased, but she's just so good at talking and teaching. Like when she began her talk and she was like, I'm talking about SQL and tables and script injection. And I was like, okay, no, not gonna lie. That sounds like the most boring thing I've ever heard in my entire life, but I'm here for you. Except it, like, Mind Wolf made it interesting. And I was like, I understand this. I understand the issue. I understand the XKCD comic. And I've learned something, and this is so interesting. You're also biased, but do not care. Yeah. Yes, a boring topic turned really interesting. I could not, like, believe it, you know? I'm not that great at coding, and there are lots of, like, super complicated things I don't super understand, you know? It would have fallen into that purview had Maya not been so good at teaching it. So, like, if you haven't watched it, someone can drop the link in chat, or I can drop the link in chat, but would really recommend. I didn't get to go to Leah's. I was at the table, but I'm planning on watching Leah's. Made it very easy to follow. Her presence is amazing. Exactly. Mind Wolf was a natural up there. Yes. You bet links are still disabled? They aren't. I fixed it, but I actually have the window open right now in preparation for talking about this. One other one I remember was, I don't remember their last name, but their name was Elder, and they talked about accessibility. And that was really interesting too, because the majority of the talk was just like, this is why accessibility is important. And then they were like, but the thing is, it's not that hard. It doesn't take much extra work. It's not that hard. And I was like, it's not that hard? Really? And I know that's like an obvious sort of like thing to say to people when you're trying to get them to use accessibility stuff. But in my brain, and I'm sure a lot of other people, I was like, this is so hard. Accessibility's hard. I'm told it isn't. I believe them. Thank you for that. Are there video recaps of CYC? Yes, there are. This is the channel they're on. CYC is the Commit Your Code conference run by Danny Thompson and the Dallas software developers in Dallas. And it happened twice, and it just barely happened last week. And I went. It was my second tech conference, but I'm going to count it as my first. My first, I went to the Utah JS conference, and I volunteered as well and kind of just like hid I did stuff, but I didn't know anyone. I sat at a table with Kent C. Dodds and vaguely knew him. He was nice, but I didn't get much out of it, and I left, and I was like, ooh, oh, okay, that was a lot. I also, like, I remember being at the door. I was like an usher for the talks and being like, I have no idea what anyone is talking about here. And this was better in that I did. That's a flex. You say that, but both Kent and I live in Utah. It was good to know a good portion of the people, or just have welcoming people who knew me. Yeah, it was really cool to see 100 devs there, to see other people there, and be like, hey, we have the same background. We have the same interests. Hi, you're a person. Because stream is nice. I know all of you are real people. And also, there's something about being like, I'm username. And me being like, username? Wow, in the flesh? Hi, Danny. Welcome to my stream. Do you work as a software engineer at the moment, or am I searching? So neither. I work as a property manager at the moment. I got laid off from my first software engineering job 2 years ago, and then just never really got back into it. And then, I don't know, you can get really complacent, and I think that's what I have done, is just gotten complacent. So I work in property management right now. Would I like to get back into tech? Yes, I was thinking about it. I was like, why am I streaming, and why did I go to the conference? And really the answer is because I freaking love the community, and I love talking to y'all. I love it. Y'all are the best. And also, it's my chosen career field, You like that most of the talks went about the AI. Yeah, so the conference had several tracks. They had AI, they had leadership, they had JavaScript, they have Java, and they had one other, I think, and I can't remember what it was. I went to a mix. I went to some leadership conferences. I went to some JavaScript and maybe an AI. I think I went to an AI talk. That's what got you get out of your comfort zone and actually visit one. Yeah, so I can't speak about really the difference between conferences, but what I hear the difference with CYC is that there's a big focus on networking and like getting to know people. Your friend Izzy has a sweet vlog covering his entire CYC experience. Just search MRITZ Reel on YouTube. Okay. You can drop it in chat too if you want. I'll be searching soon. You meet 100 devs member at a coffee shop and you both hit the event after the IRL coffee shop. That's awesome. You feel so much stronger of a connection, even talking for like 5 minutes with some people. Yeah, same. I think yes, that. Also, I think I just love people. I love the people. You never knew I was already working as a software engineer. I got my first software engineering job at a small startup in my state. We did software, sponsorship, they're both S words, sponsorship management. So for like museums and for sports teams. And I really liked it. I wish I hadn't been laid off. I got to talk about that awesome language app I built with my whole chest. Right now, thank you, Danny and CYC. If you're here still, Danny, thank you. It was an awesome conference. We all loved it. Thanks for dropping that link about Izzy's blog. I'm going to copy it and save it for later. This was actually really hard because almost all the... Oh, it's going to start. Wait a second. Oh, I know Izzy. I recognize Izzy's face. It was actually hard because almost all the talks submitted were AI related, and you had to cold call speakers to find non-AI ones. Wow. My mom sent me something today that was like, did you know all the entry-level jobs are being taken by AI? And I was like, thanks. I don't believe that, but this is what we're being told. It's everywhere. You left tech for 7 years. You get it. Something that Leon said today in the huddle, I wrote it down. Don't count the hours, count the years. Wow, I was like, I feel that in my chest. Yeah, I haven't been coding for 2 years. And also, what is 2 years in the view of the 40 years all of us have to work? .net, thank you. This community is amazing. Highly recommend CYC as a first conference. You'll be hooked. Agreed. You've never been to any other conferences besides CYC. Is there really not much of a focus of networking at the other ones? Not that I've heard. Everyone else, let me know. You didn't realize how many people knew your online name. Yeah, you're famous. Danny's right about that, and it really gets to what matters. He gave me advice about my site when it was very robotic and didn't highlight me, just my skills. Now that you're selling me, who happens to code, you're getting further and further. Totally attributed to Danny's wake-up call. That's pretty cool. I think a project I'd like to do is I'd like to redo my portfolio. It's just like empty. Like, it's not literally empty, but it lacks anything. Like, anything about, like, personality. That's what I'm wanting to say. Last personality. I think I would just want like a one where it has like a bunch of my links and maybe I can post some bloggy things and I don't know, something like that, you know. CYC is very different because of the culture and the focus on having humans connect with other humans that are interested in similar things. Yeah. Some are real salesy or all about where you work. And this one wasn't. If you want to, but you wrote that when I was answering the question about if you were a software dev. Okay, I forgot what the question was. At least software engineering is one of those jobs where you can reach early retirement in 15 years, right? That's what you just redid. You made it look iconic. Literally, lol. Added your profile page as a tab icon and a home button on desktop. Very nice. You feel like CYC was more friendly for introverts. Maybe you were too much in your head during render. Yeah, what was render like comparably? Your portfolio has whatever you want, like a pet zone and whatever. What does that look like? We need more fun portfolios out there with fancy GIFs and your Wizard 101 profile or something. We actually had to coach the sponsors on that. They weren't allowed to be salesy. Oh, very nice. My rule is that they need to be educators for the community instead of sales folks trying to get a deal. You guarantee that this would have higher results with this and you think you're right. I think you're right too. I didn't feel very pressured by any of them. I did talk to a couple of them, but yeah, I would say that felt that way. Render was intimidating, but everyone was incredibly friendly. When is the next render? It's hard when you don't know anyone at all and have to totally make up small talk. I don't know. For me, I guess small talk isn't that hard. Like, I don't know if this person is here, but someone I came up to, I was like, "Dog, I love your earrings." And they were like, "Thank you." And I was like, "How long did it take for like your ears to heal?" Because I have earrings, and it really takes my ears a long time to heal. And then we had a conversation about that. And then it morphed into getting each other's LinkedIns, you know? I walked up to one of the tables and had to ask them to sell me. Your render experience is only worth it because of the 100 devs members. Here's the pet zone. All right. Make this a little bigger. Wait, whose pets? I love this one's face. Someone taking very artsy pictures of their animals. That's beautiful. Render's a good time. You like Render. You think you'll be there this year coming up. Y'all hear that? Danny's gonna be at Render next year. Render was more so party vibes. Still good, but at CYC's events, you had hope of hearing people at the offsite events. Yeah, so I have a baby voice. I don't know if y'all can tell. Like, I talk like, you know when you see a dove outside and then it's like gets kind of scared of you and it flies away and it kind of makes like a woo sound. That wasn't a good imitation. And then it like flaps its wings. That's my voice. I talk like that. It got pretty loud. And so I was using my outside voice. And at the end of the day, like, oh, my freaking throat hurts so bad. You need to do a series on how to run a conference. All these behind the scenes details make such a difference. Yeah. Put it on the programming podcast too. Small talk usually happens when questions are too close. Ask more questions that can lead in different directions. So I talked to someone, I don't know if they're here. They were in 100 Devs. Their name's Ike. And Ike is coming from a sales background and is transitioning to software engineering. I want to get Ike on here so that they can talk about like how to apply like sales tactics to like becoming a software dev and to like networking and things like that. I think it would be really useful because they talked about that too. They talked about how like you need to ask questions in a way that they lead to more things. Like instead of like you say, "Do you have a dog?" The answer is yes. Or you say, "What kind of dog do you have?" I have I picked a bad topic, a dachshund. I don't know dogs. And then you say, "Oh, nice. What's the name?" You know. Render 2026 in August 12th to 13th. Small talk is actually really good. It's a conversation starter. Not sure why people don't like it. I mean, I'm sure everyone has like a reason, you know. Sometimes conversating, if anyone's seen Austin Land, is really hard for people, you know. I guess I don't know. My strategy is literally like, I feel like there's some things you can just ask people, like something about their appearance or where are they from, or oh my gosh, it's freaking hot outside, which it was actually okay, or how did you find out about this? Where does render take place? Atlanta, as far as I know. Your pets plus your partners. Gotcha. How many do you have? Render's where Leon and Danny figured out how to do the podcast. This dot room was dope. Yeah, there was a secret room afterwards. So wait, we're gonna pause that actually. Don't be so hard on yourself. That was an excellent dove imitation. Also adding it to my resume. Your voice was gone. Yep, still not 100% recovered. I got sick. I was sick yesterday, and it wasn't COVID, and it wasn't anything bad. Maybe it was just like exhaustion sickness, but I have it a little bit today. It's a little better though. You thought it was weirdly easy to make friends. You kind of talked to someone and then we went to karaoke together and now we're friends. Your favorite starter question was, what unexpected hobby do you have? If your dog was a human, what would they be like? My dog would be the most outgoing person you've ever met. You watch I don't know how to say the last name, Jang on Instagram. He has reels with tips on communicating. One thing he mentions is creating multiple threads where you can talk so you have multiple things they can latch on to. You got sick too. Okay, it wasn't COVID, relatable. Okay, so continuing on. The first day had the talks at 2 hours of networking in the morning, which seemed like it was cool. I still got to watch the keynote or the opening talks. They had a coffee shop that was had a really long line all the time. And after the talks on the first day, then Jasper got a bunch of 100 devs together to go to Buc-ee's. And so we went to Buc-ee's. Leon was in my car and one other person, I can't remember their name. Are you here? If you were here, tell me your name again. But everyone was cool. I came with my sister and my sister's boyfriend, so it was a very cozy car. And it was kind of unreal, like sitting by Leon and being like, hi Leon. You're my hero. I didn't tell him that. That would be weird. If you're here, sorry if that makes it weird. You are though. And then we went to Buc-ee's. I'd never heard of Buc-ee's before. Big gas station, and it was good. They had art in the bathrooms for sale. I bought some pajamas. They were bedazzled or crystalled cow skulls and cow hides, things like that. You gave rides, nice. And then we got a bunch of like brisket sandwiches or burritos, and then we went out to take a picture with the statue and took a picture of our sandwiches. And if you were in Leon's huddle, you heard about this already. If you weren't, we were doing this, and then some IHOP people walked by and they were like, hey, you want free food? Put those sandwiches in your bags and get your ass over to IHOP. And we were like, and I was like, let's go. I'm going to go get free food at IHOP. And Leon's like, hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. Is this a scam? And I was like, I don't know. Is it? I don't know. But then we ultimately decided to do it after taking a picture with the Buc-ee's statue. It was funny too because I can't remember who I was talking with, but we were talking about like rubbing the Buc-ee's teeth for good luck or something. And we had been taking pictures with it, and I don't know, I think we got luck from the statue. If it was a scam, I was so ready for it. If it was a scam, we would have all got. Just saying. It wasn't. They were opening up an IHOP and training new staff, and so we got food. I shared food with Mine Wolf. It was great. We had who else was at my table? Opal Eyes, and I have to look at people through my brain. Pumpkin, I think. Yeah. It was a Buc-ee's miracle. The one downside was that we missed most of the... there was an event in the evening called Foaling, which was football bowling. Love word combinations. We missed most of it, sadly, but it was okay because we got free IHOP. Thank you to Rufio for unlocking the Buc-ee's luck. Best pancake, 10 out of 10. Was the food good? Yes, it was. It was... I think most American food is pretty good. We make it's so bad for you, and that's what makes it taste so good. That's what foaling was? Yes. Someone told me that. And our foaling was good enough for you. Your arm was tired. I didn't foal at all. Oh my gosh, that sounds like I'm having a baby horse. God, that's awful. Mike, soldier, how are you? Long time no talk. Haduenya. You jammed your finger during foaling. Now it's only back to normal. Oh, it's only back now just to normal. Yeah, so after that, we went outside and Leon was like, there's a secret party happening in room 337. And I was like, I'm a teacher's pet. I never get invited to private parties. And so we went to the private party, and it was like a room full of people talking. It was good. It was so loud. My voice died. And I talked to another 100 devs, a couple other 100 devs there, took some pictures. Soldiers speaking Southern Paiute to me, y'all. We both know some Paiute. Most of them were presenters from the conference. Secret presenter room. What's that? Southern Paiute is a Native American language in my state of Utah. It's also a little bit in Nevada. And during college, I worked with Soldier here and a couple other people to try and help preserve it. And that's what my 100 Hours project is. It's an online talking dictionary for the language because they have it written down. It's actually one of the best preserved Native American languages because a linguist called Edward Sapir, he wrote it all down in a super old IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet. And it's so inaccessible. No one can read it. And so there are a lot of people in the tribe and in the band that were like, I don't know how to freaking read this thing. And we were like, well, what if we have like 4 years of recording an elder, because we would talk to her for 4 hours a week. If we cut it up into words, sentences, and phrases, then put it online so it's accessible to people. And also, you know what? Let's look at it. All right, so we're just going to go to the glossary, okay? So now when people look at this and they're like, oh my God, I don't even know how to say that. And I don't know how to read the IPA. What the heck? Wait, when I click this, I'm going to stop talking or else I'm going to hear myself reverb. But when I click this, I'm going to stop talking or else I'm going to hear myself reverb. But okay, so you heard it? So you're like, oh my gosh, I can't say that. And then you hear her say it and she says, Kacham ururoi naramuvamwap. And hopefully it makes it a little more accessible because you can see how it's written, you can hear how it is, and you can see the translation, and it's online and more accessible. So this was my 100 Hours project. And that's what Southern Paiute is. How did people hear about these events? You were so out of the loop. It's because I was hanging out with Leon. You sit on the other side in the hallway because the main room is too claustrophobic for you. That makes sense. You gotta hop around the groups and ask what's the scoop. Yeah, I was like, yo, is the party over? I want a party. And then people were like, yeah, it's not over. And I was like, yes. You gotta bring this up when people ask if you're in tech. I do sometimes. I don't know. I haven't done that much with it for the past 2 years. I feel kind of guilty with that because I have hundreds of hours of recordings to cut up. And something that I've also had trouble with in the past in regards to it is that the elder, she never learned like grammar or anything. So when she would say, Kacham ururoi naramwavamwap, I'd be like, okay, what does kacham mean? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, what does ururoi mean? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, what? Like any attempt to break up the sentences, I wasn't very successful at, and I've gotten a little better at it through the years. Like, for example, in kacham, ororoi, naramwavamwap, I know that kacham means not, so I know it's a negation, and the rest of the sentence, I have no idea. So it's been something that has been a little rough in the way that I'm like, or intimidating, where I'm like, I'm gonna cut this up, and then I gotta ask her if I cut it up correctly, like if that's the right thing that's being said and what it means, and then I gotta add it to the system. But I need to do it. OMG, we were talking about a translation app and did not know that I made one. Yep, I guess it is kind of a translation app. I like to think of it more as an online talking dictionary. This is good small talk. Lol, you can just start talking about this app to strangers. I don't know if I did actually talk to many people about this app. I was supposed to, but I didn't. Really cool. You aspire to do things like this. What's a few hours, right? Right. What do you aspire to do in relation to things like this, out of curiosity? You ended up asking people if they were doing things, and if not, plan the things. And that is how we got Bucky's. Thank you, Jasper. Is she the only one that knows a language? As far as I know, there are like about 20 speakers left. And all of them are elders. And then there's the next generation who can understand it but can't say anything. And then Soldier here is like in the 3rd generation and learning learning, like, Soldier, did your parents teach you Paiute? No, right? That project is a huge undertaking. Give yourself grace. But do I give myself 4 years grace? I don't know. I started this project in 2021. What did I use to make my project? I used plain HTML. I think I have JSX in there, CSS. I don't know if we used Tailwind. I don't think we did. And then the database is MongoDB. Another thing I'd like to do with the project is I'd like to switch to SQL, because I ended up using SQL on my job, and I really like SQL. It's very logical, and I feel like it can follow it a lot better than MongoDB. And then Node and Express. Yeah, I think that's it. It's been a while. I don't even know what the code base looks like, I'll be honest. Your 100 hours project extends the MVC app towards the end of cohort 2. And remind me what the MVC app looked like. It was the binary upload boom. No, your grandma left the reservation when she's 16 and she can say some words but understands it. Yeah. So soldiers learning it out of like, you know, your family speaks it a little, but it's, I think, just as hard for you as like anyone else. Have you been learning more in the past 2 years? You turn that one in. Nice. I'll check it out. Could an LLM help with the chopping up? That's worth looking into. I never thought about it because Chat GPT wasn't a thing when I was making it. You may find people who could help add to it. Yeah, I need people who can chop it up, but also people who can chop it up who can hear when the words are different ones, you know, and know where to chop it up, and that makes it a little more complicated. There are things that I need to fix about this page where I'm like, dude, it might be nice to make this like open source, or alternatively, or okay, let me finish that thought. Open source so that people can help with it, because there are things I need to do still. Or alternatively, we remake it and we make it so it's using a sort of, this isn't the right word, but a scaffolding so that we could make open source for other Native American languages to use for their talking dictionaries. That would be cool, I think. The tribe gave us a dictionary, which is small, but it's also not the Cedar Band dialect. Well, so there's that big black book, Soldier. That one, I think is a mix of all of them, but it's so inaccessible. There's a big black book from Edward Sapir, the linguist, and it's in old IPA, and like, what even is it saying? You wonder how well it could work without much training data. If it's so close to being a lost language, would an LLM have been trained on it? No. I'm quite sure no LLMs have been trained on it. Yeah. Yeah, Soldier, had you seen the online talking dictionary before? Maybe ChatGPT can translate the old IPA. Yeah, I'd have to get a copy of the book. It might be on the internet. I can't remember what it's called. If we look up Southern Paiute. See, I'm opening up everyone's stuff up here. Southern Paiute, Edward. I can't type Edward. It's up here. This might be it, actually. Limited. Is there a way we can unlimit it? Use your free account. This might be it. Yeah, your Uncle Travis helped create this little kid's dictionary. You've seen it once, but then other than that, the one time, that was it. Yeah. I think this is the book, though. I think this is it. I'll have to look at it more. But also, it's probably pictures of it, and I guess ChatGPT could probably look at that, but maybe it might make it more complicated. Share the link? Sure. And here we were talking about not this. I'm happy to talk about this, though, as long as y'all want to hear about it. But yeah, that was my 100 hours project hundreds of years ago. For those of you who are new to my channel, I started coding after I graduated from university in 2020. And actually, part of the reason I got into coding was because of that project, because we wanted to make an online talking dictionary, and I talked to a web developer professor at my university, and he was like, I don't know. And I was like, well, great. I don't know anyone else who can do this. And then I was like, also, I majored in Spanish and philosophy, and I don't know what to do with that. And I wanted to find a job that had good job outlooks, paid well, and I could work remotely. And the internet told me that was full stack engineering. And as a benefit, I could make an online talking dictionary. Takes forever to actually finish their 100 hours project. Hugs. Team take forever to actually finish their 100 hours project. Unite. Finally finishing the project you started in 2022 now. Whoa. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. If I haven't thanked you for following or subbing, thank you. It took you so long to finish. Yeah, how's everyone else doing with their 100 hours project? Or what are you working on? Hi, Scorpion. ADHD gang. You feel stuck? What do you feel stuck with? That sounds like the other department's answer to all the students at the university. Yeah, I wasn't, especially now that I know more about web development, I'm not very impressed. Like, it's not like, it was hard to make. It was hard. But he was a professor, you know? I don't know. That could have easily been some sort of research something or other for him. Wait, so CYC, we need to closure of the conference experience. Yes, sorry. I digress. Second day of CYC. My sister's alarm woke up at 6 a.m. and I was like, who and why? And it woke me up and it did not wake anyone else up. So that was cool. I really needed that sleep. And the second day was good. I got to go to more talks. I didn't end up going to a lot of the talks. I ended up just talking more with people, which is really cool, and hanging out with people. I met someone who works at he was one of the speakers, the New York Times Games, and was doing AI stuff with recognizing handwriting, which was really cool. Got to go to his talk and talk to him. And then we took a picture with all our shirts. And didn't run out of food for lunch, which was great. It happened the first day. And it was over too soon, sadly. Like, it was a different vibe. The second day, like, a bunch of people had already left. And that was sad to me because I was like, come on, like, we have 2 days of this. Like, come on, like, be here, you know? So, and then I also hate endings. So I was like, it's going to end and I love this and I'm having so much fun and it's ending. Like, rip. We took some 100 devs pictures. We also did a huddle. If you were there, Leon came up to me and was like, Rufio, you want to be on the huddle? And I was like, sure, I'll be on the huddle, but I don't think I'm qualified. And Leon's like, you're qualified, Rufio. And I was like, okay. And then Jasper was also in the huddle and Lion Wolf as well. I hear that it seemed like the audio wasn't great for y'all. I never was able to watch it back, obviously, but it was very cool to be on a huddle with a bunch of like OGs, you know. On one hand, super sad for it to end. On the other hand, was so hyped to catch up on sleep. Yeah. So after the day ended, we cleaned stuff up and then, do I remember anything? What happened after that, brain? Oh, we went to Korean barbecue with like 20 people from the conference. Korean barbecue's alright. I feel like it's kind of expensive for a bunch, and it's a bunch of meat, and I used to be a vegetarian, and I'll eat meat, and I don't know. But it was good to see people. And then after that, sister's boyfriend and my sister and we all went and got Punjabi ice cream, which was really cool. And then we went to karaoke, and that was good. That's where I sang "Killing Me Softly" with his song, and that was good. It was good to have like a last blast, but it's not over. I also talked to CM Griffin there. He was at the whole conference, and we were both getting drinks at karaoke, and then we ended up talking, and then everyone's like, we're gonna walk to Waffle House, because it's like 12 a.m. at this point. So we drove to Waffle House since we had a car, and then waited for people. And while we're waiting in the grass, we're looking on the ground, and there are freaking like roaches on the ground. But they weren't roaches. They were big ass crickets. And my sister was like, I don't like bugs, okay? My sister was like, hey, Rufio, there's a cricket by your feet. And I was like, oh, frick. And then she's like, hey, that's what I was trying to get to happen to you. Also, there are. And I looked down, and there were like 3 crickets at my feet. And I was like, fuck this. I got to get onto the pavement, which isn't much better because I can see them on the pavement too. And then a cricket proceeded to jump onto CM Griffin. And we were like, fuck this. And then we went into like the Waffle House. And then we had some waffles. And it was good. And that was like the final event I did with everyone. And we said our goodbyes and gave hugs. And it was good. And then we went back, and then we slept until 10:30 in the morning the next day. You're dying with those crickets. It's good to talk to me again. See you, soldier. The one. Yikes. We also saw the crickets. Ask Sarah. Yeah, the crickets attacked the walking group, I was told. The waffles were great. You heard there's a whole cricket season. Yeah, and they were like freaking like this big. They're big and black, and they looked like roaches, and I hated them, and they jumped on Sam Griffin twice, actually. Grew up catching crickets for the family lizard, so you felt super powered walking through the cricket plague like nothing. Yikes. Everyone cracked up at you screaming at the crickets. So many jimmies. You went and got Danny to crash the huddle? Yeah, I was curious about that. I was like, you must have just seen us or something. But it was because of you, huh? It was hard to hear, but the energy was electric. You still miss that matcha shop that was by the Korean barbecue. I never had the matcha. You got hot pot? Nice. It was hard work to cook all that food. Yeah, the thing about Korean barbecue is it's all meat, and you have to cook it. What the scam? Like, I don't want to. I hate raw meat. So, sister's boyfriend cooked it all. You prefer Japanese barbecue because it's similar, but cheaper. You couldn't find any of the good Korean buffets as per the food snobs in the group, so you ended up getting Texas barbecue. That's good. Those crickets definitely looked like roaches, jumping roaches. They did, my God. I still can't get over how horrific they were. Jeez, I don't think I could live in Texas. I don't. You have to get dinner going. Thank you for letting you live CYC vicariously. Catch y'all later. Thanks for hanging out, Angel. Why did CYC have to end? I was really sad it was ending. I was like, let's go, day 3. Let's another day. Like the next day, we got up and then we went to the airport, and we went to the wrong airport, by the way. We were going through check-in, or no, through like the TSA preliminary person, and they were like, something's wrong here. And they're like, you need to go to the ticket counter. And I was like, okay, cool. Where's the Frontier ticket counter? I didn't see it. And they're like, dog, you're straight up at the wrong airport. It's not this airport. And we were like, oh, fuck. Like, we made our flight just fine, but You think it's really funny that there are like 5 perspectives of the huddle from all sides. The most pictures you have are from the side of the huddle. Hot pot also involves cooking, but it's just on a soup. I had hot pot, didn't love that either. I don't know. It was also very expensive. You've never been to K barbecue. Do they not have vegetarian options? I think you can order vegetables, but not really. Wait, that's just cricket season. You're saying right now is cricket season in Texas and it's not always that horrific? It was so nice not dealing with the burning smell of Korean barbecue. As good as Korean barbecue is, some people in that K barbecue definitely left their meat on too long. Can confirm the expense. Yeah, I'm not a big foodie either, so I don't know. I think some things are probably really yummy and worth it for people, and it doesn't have to be that good for me to like it, I guess. I say as I'm like, Korean barbecue is too expensive and not that good for what it is. See Azizi. I don't think you'd have a fun time at Korean barbecue if you're vegetarian. Agreed. Wrong airport. Do tell more. Just that it was the Love something airport, and it only does like Southwest and Delta. Where we were supposed to go to Dallas Fort Worth, and so we ended up having to take an Uber because we had turned our car in. Yeah, it was nice being with my sister and her boyfriend, because my parents, whenever I travel with them, they're just like Otto, super stressed people. So if that had happened while they would have been there, they'd be like, ah, what are we gonna do? It's your fault. And we were like, oops, well, let's fix that. So that was nice that we were chill. The ribs at barbecue were $77. You asked what you should get from the cashier, and they just handed you a slab of meat. You got to share, but other Texas natives said you got scammed. What? Holy shit. Was there any pizza at CYC? Yes, for lunch both days. Love Field. Yep, that's the one. You're crying in vegetarian for not having a good time at the K barbecue. Should have been watching over you guys. You have to know how to order so to not pay out the nose. Oof. Yeah. The next time there's CYC, I'm gonna try the barbecue or whatever, but I'll have to go with luau so that I don't pay out the nose. I had a brisket sandwich and it tasted like sloppy joes. You only paid $40. Whoa, so much money for meat. Meat is so much money. I had been vegetarian for 6 years, and I just still don't understand the cost of meat. Asian barbecue and hot pot are all about comboing properly. Tofu is very affordable. True, and I make it sometimes. I got a tofu squisher. That was the tofu squisher. You had a brisket sandwich from Buc-ee's. That doesn't count. You know what? It does count. I don't know. I next time we'll get real brisket or whatever. With meat, you're paying for the animal and the vegetarian meals they ate. Rip. You might have to add tofu squisher to my resume as well. I don't do the squishing though. I just put it in the squisher. It's very nice. Have any of you seen Overboard? If you have, or if you haven't, there's one part where there's a guy and he's sitting there with a conch shell and he's like, Tofuri, where are you when I need you? And he's talking about some girl he's hooking up with. But my tofu squisher is called Tofudi. And so every time I use it, I'm like, Tofudi, where are you when I need you? Tofu squisher putter inner. Hello is Rufio Enterprises. You weren't a big brisket fan. Apparently it's because we got Buc-ee's brisket. Tofuri. Yeah, excellent vegan cream cheese. Oh, interesting. I'm hella funny. Stop it. It's very nice of you. You don't make the code. You just press the buttons on the keyboard. Are you saying it's equivalent? I should call myself a tofu master because I can put it in a tofu squisher? You got it from a barbecue place too. Really? Ooh, interesting. Shots fired. Are you gonna take that, Texans? Brisket's not that good even when it's from a barbecue place. Hutchins brisket was mid. Yeah, the last day I didn't go to it. They went and had like brunch at Hutchins. I'm hearing that it's not that good. Is brisket not that good? My favorite meat is sausages. I think they're the best meat. They're so salty. Job title: the Principal Tofu Quality Inspector. You take Squish's tofu for lunch and then cooks it. We can make that supervised preparation of tofu production in a restaurant capacity. Brisket is good when it's done well. Is it hard to be done well? They had jalapeno sausages at Hutchins. See, I can't do spice is my problem. I have like the whitest palate in the whole world. I think I'd probably die if I ate it. Tofu would be a great name for a programming language. True. Do you know that tofu was one of my nicknames growing up? I don't know why. It just was. My friend's name was Sushi, and I was Tofu. And we had a dance. We were on diving boards because we swam a lot, and she would go, Sushi, and I'd be like, Tofu, and then we'd turn around and be like, da-na, na-na, na-na, woo, and then we'd jump off the diving board. Operated equipment, ensure proper squish. Proper compressment. You can't do spicy either. It just hurts. Yeah, that's the thing, is it's painful and it doesn't taste very good. The spiciest thing I ever ate was in some fried rice in Indonesia. It was just tiny. It's a tiny green pepper, and I didn't see it, and I bit into it, and I was like, oh no. And so I drank like 2 Thai teas, which have milk in them. Didn't do a damn thing. I start messaging all my friends and family on WhatsApp, and I'm like, holy hell, I'm gonna die. How do I make this stop? And for those of you who don't know, I studied abroad in Indonesia my final year of high school, and so I was with my host family who can eat spicy food, and I was like, host dad, I'm dying, I'm literally crying, I'm losing my mind, make it stop. How do you make it stop? And he got me some hot water. He's like, hot water, it will make it stop. And I drank it, and it freaking did. And that was the hottest thing I ever ate. Brisket takes 12 hours and has to be babysat the whole time so it doesn't burn. The Adventures of Tofu and Sushi should be an anime. It should. Improve squish rate by 28% with 0 protein loss. Recaptured the excess to create further products because it makes water. So CYC was good. I had a great time. I loved meeting everyone. I think my favorite part, the talks were cool. They were. I grant you that. I loved meeting the people. I just loved the people. I was so happy to meet everyone who was there and to make meet old friends and make new friends, and just, if I could just, I'm like, I gotta network more where I'm just hanging out with people. I don't know. Is anyone 100 devs here who's in Utah? Let me know. You specifically went to meet people and planned to go to 0 talks. And did you go to any talks? Indonesia, selamat malam. Phoenix, do you speak Indonesian? I can say more, but... Sekarang sore aja. Selamat sore. I held it down at the merch table. Thank you, Missa. I had a great time at the merch table, actually. And it's so funny because I just, like I said, I did it incidentally. It wasn't supposed to be anything so defining, but the merch table basically defined my time at the conference, which is a good thing. It just was a surprising one. You already forgot all the talks. That's why they're on the internet. Here, I'll drop the link. Oh, that's not the link. The link. Oh, you know what? I don't have the link anymore. Give me a second. There it is. They went to Mind Wolves. You only went to volunteer. Intelligence held it down at the volunteer table. It was so nice to meet them, and Intelligence made a QR code for the stuff we were selling, which made it so much easier. and was ultimately the reason I was able to go to any talks that day. You can rewatch the talks online. You can't re-meet people. Ooh, yeah, true. You went to 2 since you followed friends in there, and then they left and scammed you. And of course, you had to support Mindwell for Bobby tables. They left and scammed you. Only basic greetings, because your Indonesian friend taught you some a few years ago. You plan to visit possibly next year. And where will you go? If you didn't understand what I said in Indonesian, I said, it's only afternoon. Good afternoon. Sorry, everyone. It's getting close to 1 a.m. here in the UK, so you have to head off, feed the cats, get ready for bed. Glad I'm streaming again, Rufio. Enjoy the rest of the stream, everyone. Thank you for hanging out, Guildenstern. I feel so bad. I missed everyone's talking at the beginning with the reverb and the... God. Only things like that happen when I have hella people on stream. You know what I'm saying? I streamed twice in the past 2 weeks, and did it happen then? No. Did I test it beforehand? Yes. What the hell? The downside of fixing it is I am not hearing when everyone's following me anymore. So I see that everyone has, and I feel bad for missing you. There was even a hype train I didn't know about. And gifted subs. My God. That's just the universe having a chuckle. That's just the universe saying, when you think you have it down, you don't. Let's keep you on your toes, baby. Lucky for me, y'all are very, very understanding. It was a Bucky's curse. Bucky said, you got free IHOP, but you abandoned me when you did. Retribution. Sorry, Bucky's God. Also, you have a cat in your lap. Very nice. I don't. Also, we took some stream team pictures, okay? And we wanted to make it so we could put Madeline Patience in the pictures, okay? And I was like, you know what? I never Photoshopped before. Let me just ask, what are they called? Let me just ask Gemini to do it for me. That will work out. You want to see what happened? Here, let's see it. Perfect. Perfect Photoshop. AI is coming for all of our jobs. You guys, you have to find new careers now. Look, it's taking our jobs. Whoa, she's way shorter than Roxy. The funny thing is that before I asked her how tall she was, and she's like, oh, I'm 5'8", and so I'm 5'10", so I was trying to make her a little shorter than me. And then when I posted this, she's like, Rufio, I didn't know you were 9'3", and I was like, nah, dog, I didn't know you were 3'5". Look at you. What are you, a hobbit? Yes, apparently, according to what's it called? Gemini, she is a hobbit. Look at her hobbit status here. But I actually ended up working it out. I used GIMP, and I asked ChatGPT to walk me through it because I never Photoshopped a damn thing in my life before. And it turned out a little better. Good job, Rufio. Hire me as a Photoshop queen. She totally looks like she was here in this photo. Look, I even got the hand. I'm so proud of the hand right there. See? And that's your 100 Dev Stream team, baby. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the applause. I had to put my monitor up higher so that the stream makes sense. So you're looking up at me streaming at you. So what I want to know is which one should I post to social media? I shared it with the team already, and I was waiting for one of them to post it, but then they didn't. So I think I have to do it, given that I was the instigator here and the Photoshop artist. Definitely the first one. Perfect. That's why I mentioned the afternoon. You're a few hours ahead of me. Your friend lives about an hour away from Jakarta, and of course Bali is popular. Still planning to, given you'll be seeing other countries in the region first. Gotcha. Well, I would really recommend, if you have the time, it depends on if you want to see your friend, of course. I would say stay away from Bali and stay away from Java. Bali is so touristy, unless of course you just want like the Hindu vibe, which I guess you could do. It's very touristy if you like that. And then Java is so crowded that there's always traffic. One place I really recommend for anyone who feels like going to Indonesia, I did this last year. We went to Indonesian Borneo, which is called Kalimantan, and we flew to a place called Pangkalan Bun, which you can fly to from the Jakarta airport. I'll make myself bigger when I'm talking about this. And then you can ask a company to pick you up. We did one, and see orangutans. And ours was called Orangutan Adventure. So they pick you up from the Pangkalan Bun airport, and then you get on like a houseboat, and you go into this nature reserve where you can see rehabituated orangutans. So they were caught in like a field or something, and they couldn't go back out into the wild, so they're put into this preserve. And then they will do feeding platforms for them. They'll feed them like fruit twice a day, and you can like you'll be having fun on your boat, or you just be chilling on your boat, and then they'll drop you off and the guide will take you to the feeding platforms, and then you're super close to the orangutans, and then they eat fruit, and then you go back on your boat and they feed you, and you do it for 3 days, and it was $300. Would highly recommend. Feel free to ask me in the stream or elsewhere on Discord or wherever for further details. I highly recommend it. I really liked it. Can you pet them? No. That's more your style, but given this, you may not be able to that trip. Mostly trying to go because of your friend. I mean, it depends on how much time you had. Like, we were there for a week, and we spent a couple days with my host family and 3 days doing this. Or 3.5. Would recommend, though. Or you could do it next time, you know. But it was great. Really lovely. And definitely a different vibe than Java Island. Borneo is just less people. Do you know when the best time is to visit? I would say anytime, really. Monsoon season, well, actually, try not to go during monsoon season, which is, I think, like starting October, and it's like 6 months. I would look it up. Because you don't necessarily want to be rained on, but it's going to be the same temperature basically all year long. So I personally would avoid going during the summer holidays in, the northern hemisphere, because you don't want like 5 million people there. It was not Indonesians that were the ones looking. It's not really their style to go 3 days on a boat trip to see orangutans. So there were some Indonesians there, but they were only doing day trips. You want to see all the islands, so another trip for sure. You'll try and squeeze in Malaysia and Singapore in a follow-up trip as well. Another place I recommend is, if you have the time, to go to, this is not the name of the island. It's called, the capital of the island is Makassar. So you fly into Makassar, and then you take a bus like 9 hours north, and you go to Toraja. Toraja has it has a really unique culture there that's partially Christian, partially animist. And they were in National Geographic because someone will die, and then they'll keep the body around for a couple years. Somehow it doesn't biodegrade, and then after a couple years, they'll do these big funerals where they sacrifice cattle, wear cool clothes, have a party, and then they'll have these cool caskets where they'll put the body in it, and then they'll put it up on a cliff. That was really cool too. And it has, if you're driving around on a tour bus, you can see a lot of really cool rice fields. I have so much lore. Just keep asking me about things I know about. Again, wouldn't super recommend Bali. You can do it, of course. I don't know. I don't like going to super touristy places. I was really lucky to, my year I was there, go so many places. Note, come to Rufio about everything Indonesia. Yes, please do. I can even help translate for you. Vibe check. Sacrifice cattle, wear cool clothes. That's gangster. It was great. I have a really cool picture I can't show on stream of a cow getting... plug your ears if you're sensitive to animals dying. A really cool picture of a cow getting like sliced here and like the blood coming out and it's like falling over. It's a very cool picture. Again, sorry if that made anyone uncomfortable, but I really was cool to see it, I guess. You thought about going in December, but that's the rainy season. It probably is, yeah. But there's like a 6-month stretch that's like not rainy. And then when I lived there, I remember the rain, but I feel like it only really rained in the afternoons. I'm not sure. Either way, it probably wouldn't be nice on a houseboat. So, okay, should we do some coding challenges? Or do we have any other questions about CYC? Also, I have so much lore because I'm talking unchecked. Unchecked power here. Not CYC, but are you still doing the custom henna postcards? Yes. Pharaoh, did you redeem one that I didn't give to you? I have a couple people that I'm quite sure that happened with. What's CYC? It is called the Commit Your Code Conference, run by Danny Thompson and the Dallas software developers. And it's happened twice now. It just barely happened last week, but it's a conference focused on networking and having a more like, making it more accessible. So a lot of it was online, and then ticket prices were like max $50 as well. Hey Surly, how are you doing? It's nice to see you again. How do you find trusted local tours and drivers? In regards to where in Indonesia? Because in the place, how I found the company we used called Orangutan Adventures in Kalimantan in Indonesian Borneo was I looked it up on Reddit actually, and they're really great. Otherwise, I use my host family, but I could ask them. If you message me and you want like specifics, I can straight up just like ask them and be like, how do you find this in this place? And they'll be like, is this your friend? We will help them. You have enough for another. You're welcome to do another if you want. I'll draw it for you. You're on the East Coast and have to bounce to make dinner, but it's super fun hanging out virtually. Thanks, Rufio. Thanks for hanging out, Arctic. Do they have any cool parrots in Indonesia? Yes, they do. Okay, Pharaoh just redeemed a custom henna postcard. Message me either here, or like give me a whisper, or on Discord or on Blue Sky. I'm Hell It's Rufio everywhere. And then I probably, if your address hasn't changed, send me your address and the name you want to address to and then what you want drawn. And I'll get that to you as fast as I can. About the parrots in Indonesia, yes, mostly in Papua, which I haven't been to yet. It was really sad actually, because they have a really bustling, illegal bird trade. And my host family found out I really liked birds, and so they ended up getting a wild-caught bird that they would just leave in a tiny cage outside our house. And they were like, here, you loved birds, so we got one for you. And I was like, that's so nice of you. And this poor freaking bird, like this is a wild-caught bird in a tiny cage. Like, so yes, they had parrots, but it's kind of a sad thing. Have I been to Malaysia? Not yet, but I have been to Singapore. Wow, fancy. I looked at the channel point rewards and you speak very many languages. Very fancy. Big brain. Those are new redemptions actually, because I had people talk to me last time and they were like, you should make a speaking Spanish redemption. And I was like, I will, but I'm not very good at it. And I was like, I speak Indonesian better than I speak Spanish, so I might as well add them both. Did you let the bird go? The bird disappeared. he traded it for another bird, and then the birds eventually disappeared altogether, and I don't know. So it wasn't let go. It disappeared. It's probably dead now. That makes me really sad. Hi, Mozart. Yeah, illegal bird trade is not cool. Not cool. And as much as I love parrots, they really aren't meant to be pets either. They live like 30 plus years. Am I a self-taught dev? Yes, Mozart, sort of. I'm a community-taught dev, so I am a streamer for the 100 Devs stream team. 100 Devs is a online software engineering bootcamp and agency where they teach full-stack software engineering, or JavaScript, I guess I should say, and then also do like job help. And then they're also doing an agency now where you can get projects done with 100 devs. And so that's where I learned to code. I think you can do ! 100 devs. Let me see. So if you check that out, surely there's... Oh, thank you. Thank you for the posture check. Okay, I can sit better. This is me sitting up. There's also, I think, Discord. Y'all, can someone link the 100 devs Discord? I have it somewhere. What if I say ! Discord? Discord? Yeah, there it is. Got it. You lived in Australia for a year, and it was crazy, all the bright varieties of birds and cockatoos. Yeah, I went to Australia, went to Brisbane, and we were going through the botanical gardens, and then like stuff just starts dropping on us, and we look up in the air, and like hundreds of feet up there, they're freaking cockatoos eating figs, and I was like, no freaking way. Cockatoos eating figs above my head. Let's go. We also went to a koala sanctuary where there's a really colorful parrot called a lorikeet, and you could hold these like a stick with a dish that had food in it, and then the lorikeets, which are nectar feeders, came and like ate the nectar or sweet fruit stuff, and that was super cool. Never forget Aussies lost to birds twice. The Emu War. I thought it was only once though. Wow, can you believe I'm still sitting well? Thumbs up. Good job. Thank you. Aren't koalas assholes? Not that I could tell. They probably are. What I thought of koalas, I couldn't believe how much they pooped. They're like pooping every minute type of thing. They're like sitting on a stick and they're eating, and then it's like coming right out of them too. It's not like diarrhea, but I was like, that's not very cute. Like, why are you doing that? And then they're like little heavy motherfuckers. Like they're like 30 to 40 pounds. You lift it, you like hold it for the picture, and you're like, oh my God, please, this is so heavy. But Dark Throne can probably tell you more about koalas in Australia. I think it'd be cool to live in Australia for the birds. There's other wildlife there that might not be as cool. You had a big ass mohawk, and the cockatoos would see you coming up to them and get all puffed up and pop their crest to intimidate you. And did it work? You went to Colombia for the birds. Where did you find the birds in Colombia? Isn't there a clay lick there? Like a macaw clay lick, or is that in Brazil? There were 2 great emu wars. Please nerf emus. I'll fight, the drop person said. Nah, let the emus win. They've won the dominance war. Second best country in the world for biodiversity. Is the first one Ecuador because of Galapagos? Ah, yeah, new clip. Koalas are also riddled with chlamydia. Those little frisky motherfuckers. Frisky, frisky. How did we get off on this tangent? Have I been to Antarctica? No, it's the one continent I've not been to. It's bigly money, so I haven't quite had the funds for that. I'd like to someday, though. Has anyone here been to Antarctica? Brazil is for the Amazon. Oh, that would make sense. I haven't been to Brazil yet. Hi, it's me. Tasmania is close enough to Antarctica. Oh my god. Please tell me you're not from America. Tasmania. No, that's not America. What? Yes, no. You know what? I'm an American because my brain said you were talking about Tanzania. Thank you, Rufio. Here I am chiding people for their geographical knowledge and being an American myself. You wonder if there's some Antarctica dev jobs. There are like the military bases there. There might be dev jobs. Who knows? I'd do it. Stream from live from Antarctica. Right. What should we do? Which one should we do? We could do the first one. Oh, it's a 6Q. Oh no. Oh no. Do you think it would help my LinkedIn if I added part-time magician? But I don't qualify. I haven't done anything remotely magical. Hey, Finite, how are you? Long time no see. How has streaming been? Let me see if I can do this shout out. Will it work? Finite streams as well. Go give them a follow. Wait, Rufio, sort results by most completed so you don't get a wild one. I actually did that already. See? See? I did it before stream. I'm way ahead of you. It's been great. How have I been? I've been pretty good. I have not been doing any coding until like 2 weeks ago. I've been working as a property manager, actually. But I've been drawn back in because of a coding conference called the Commit Your Code Conference. Let me see if that works. Yeah. So we're back, and we just talked about the conference that I got back from last week, and then we talked about Australia, and now we're probably doing a coding challenge. Once you go to coding, it sings its hooks in you, and you can't get away. I don't know. I feel like it was always there, but I didn't really feel compelled to go back to it, and I probably still wouldn't if not for like the community. You heard the internet connection there to the other 6 continents is like 1 megabyte per second max. So you're saying that no streaming. What about Starlink though? Let's do a 6Q. Oh no. Fine, we'll do it, but I never do the 6Qs. What about this one? It's the first one. Let's look at it. Write a function that will return the count of distinct case-insensitive alphabetic characters and numeric digits that occur more than once. We can do this, but I'm going to die. For Australia? For Antarctica. Rip. Look what you made me do. We were talking about, they were asking me if I had been to Antarctica, and I was like, no, but maybe I should and stream there. And then we were like, actually, it might not be super plausible for that. Oh yeah, Antarctica would be not ideal for cold and for streaming, but you just stay inside the building, so the coldness is NBD. NBD. Alphabetic, but which alphabet? Cyrillic. Okay, let's do this then. Right. So, like last time, we're going to talk about prep, which is a code solving strategy that we can use in regular code or for job interviews. Was that Scottish? Who knows? If I were trying to do Scottish, it'd be like, what would I be like? Right, so let's do prep. It's a coding solving strategy. There you go. That was Scottish. And if you're a Scot and I butchered that, I am so sorry. Hello from Texas. Hey, Code, did you go to the CYC conference? New to the 100 Devs community. What are we doing? We're doing this Codewars. It's a 6Q and we're gonna die. Or I'm gonna die. I believe more in y'all than I do in me. Not as good as the Dove impression, but not too shabby. I must just make a killer Dove impression. I can do I've done the hand thing before, you can, it's not very loud yet. Okay, well, I can do it. It's gonna take too long to do, but I can do it that way too. No, we got you. All right. So, prep, as I was saying in a Scottish accent earlier, is a code solving strategy which has several concepts attached to it. Or, well, not concepts, but it stands for certain things. So, we start with the parameters. What is it asking us for? Are the things we have to take into account, like edge cases or limitations, or what alphabet we're using, like Cyrillic, that would be a parameter. Then we do the return. What are we supposed to be getting out of it? Like, is it a string, etc.? And then we do a couple examples with some console logs, and then we finish it up with some pseudocode where we write out how we're going to solve the problem, and then we actually do it. Can you rap the words? Yeah. I normally do. I forgot. Thank you. All right. So parameters. So write a function that will return, going to make a function first of all. It will return the count of distinct case insensitive alphabetic characters, digits that occur more than once. It will be in the Latin alphabet. And what will we do about special characters? What will we do about special characters? That's a good question. Thank you, Rufio. So going in as a string, taking in a string. And then, oh yeah, it says it will only be made of alphabets, can be upper or lowercase, and numeric digits, probably whole numbers. Whole numbers meaning no decimals. So no special characters. No special characters. Okay, is there anything else we should do for parameters? Dots are a special character. Oh. Dots are a special character. Right, so return. We actually had this in the second one. Return the count of distinct case. Oh, a number? That's true. Let's look at it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. True. We'll return a number. The number is representative of the amount of repeated characters, as far as I know. But look at this. Indivisibility. Shouldn't this be 6? If it occurs 6 times? A occurs twice and B twice. Wait a second. What is this asking us for? A and, okay, so it's actually, it's not how many, so it's not like, it's like, this is repeated, so it's 1. This is repeated, so it's 2. So it's 2. And the I is repeated 6 times, but it's just the I, so we give 1. there's no other repeated ones. Yeah. So we'll return the number of however many characters are repeated. It's one letter minus I. What do you mean? One letter minus I? Examples. All right. So we're going to do, if you don't know what a console log, we're going to do something called a console log. If you don't know what it is, I should say. Console log will allow it to print the result of whatever it is we're doing to the console so we can see if we're right or not. So this is called duplicate count. So we're going to put the function name, duplicate count, and then inside here we'll put some of the examples. And then outside of here, we're going to put what it's supposed to, what the answer is supposed to be. So that would be 0, right? We'll do it 2 more times. I mean, it's one letter meaning I. Oh, gotcha. Okay. So I liked this indivisibility one. Try saying that 5 times fast. Indivisibility. Indivisibility. I like it. Feels good in my mouth. That was wrong. Okay. All right. 1. Will it ever give us a null though? No, right? Because it will always be a valid character. No. Okay. All right. And then let's do ABBA because we love that band. Actually, no, let's do, well, I guess this one was mixed case. Okay. Let's do one for each of the cases, you know. So this one is 2. Now we're going to do pseudocode. The worst part, solving it or thinking about it. Make a function that takes in a string, okay? Then let's think about this. And just for everyone, don't tell me how to solve it. Give me hints. We'll work through it together. Create a hash. It's okay. We're not going to create a hash though, because I can't remember how to use them. So let me see if I can figure out something that isn't a hash, and then we can see if we can go with that. It will take in a string, and then I think I want to break up this string, and then is just creating an empty object. Okay. Then we have to do something with it, right? Which is what we're getting to, right? Break up the string. Then we are going to look at each individual character. We are going to change it all to lowercase so that it isn't, if we change it all to lowercase, if applicable, then it won't be giving us different numbers for if there's a case. We could also do uppercase, I think, but we're not going to. Then we are going to add, or if it's a new letter, we are going to add it to, okay, we can do the object. I see where the object is supposed to come in here. Make an object. Add it to the object. If it's not a new letter, oh yeah, okay, I see why we would do the object. We would do the object because it will allow us to do a key value pair. So we would have, like, for example, like A3, like that. And we want to have that. If we iterate over the string and count each letter and take note of the object of each in the object we make. Yeah. You don't think we have to break it up? Really? Just do like a for loop? probably loop through. For of loop. Curious. Are you comparing two things? Sort of. So like if we're going to go through indivisibility, we'll want to add each new letter to the object. And then we'll move on, and then we'll move on, and then we'll look at this one and be like, oh, we already have that. So if it's a number we already have, then add to the count of the letter that's already in there. Once we have gone through the whole string input, note if there are any numbers above 1. Then count the amount of like objects, I guess it is, or the key value pairs above 1 and return that number. Does that look good? "26 letters in the alphabet." Are you saying that I have to like input that? Isn't this a hash table? Maybe, but I never was good at hash tables, and so if that's what it is, then you're probably right. I don't know. I think y'all aren't realizing the quality of my knowledge about coding. Just a hint for what data structure you could use. Yeah, someone else suggested a hash table. Now the question is, should we attempt to do it from this point, or should I look up the hash table? Also, is anything missing? We got it from here. We don't have to look it up. Or an array, right? An object either way, right? Attempt! 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 Twist my arm. All right, function, duplicate count, string. It's going to take in a string. And then we're going to say, what should we call our object? Let const. Why is it const? As cool as dupes is, what about duplicates? But it's because it's not just the duplicates, right? It's the whole thing. The count. What about count of characters? You can change the parts, but we are never reassigning the object. Okay. Do you want the variable to change? It will be changing, but not in the way that would matter. You can do that with const. Thank you. Right. So then for I equals 0, probably. Wait. We already looked this up the other week, but I forget again. For loop. ¿Cómo se llama? For loop. MDN. Let I. Danke. Danke sayang. Let I equals 0. Put it in Anki. It is an Anki. I just don't look at Anki. Oh God, why is this white? Turn it down. I can't see a damn thing. Except if it's in... Can you even see it if it's dark? Probably not, huh? Ugh, disgusting. Right. I equals 0. I is less than a number, and then plus 1. Plus. Oops, sorry. I is less than string.length, right? Less than or equal to? Maybe? And then I plus plus, you're right. I is less than the string's length. Why is it? While loop, for each, for. So many. Why is it not equal to though? Right, so we did this. And we made an object, loop through. Then we're gonna say for string I. So we're looking at each individual letter now, right? For string I, or I think we have to do a conditional actually. So we say if string I, or if count of characters string what is the syntax for this? If I want to say if string I is in count of characters, so wouldn't it be like if, like, no. I can't do this, right? I can't do it with square brackets, right? That's not a thing. This is not a thing, right? Oh, it is this way. Okay. So if the index that we're looking at in string is in count of characters, we want to start with is. Okay, well, we can do it this way, it's fine. Then what? Then plus, would plus work? Then string I plus, would that work? Plus equals 1, gotcha. And then do we go straight to the else? Oh, wait, you know what we didn't do? We're going to say, we have to add 2 lowercase. Can I do that? No. We gotta make this thing lowercase. If it's lowercase, then that means it's a string, right? Yes, I think so. And which it is, right? Thank you for the stream. Gotta go. Thanks for hanging out, Balsaphic. I like it, Balsaphic. So we probably shouldn't be adding one to the string. But it is. But I want to make it. Do we do it beforehand? We just say string.to lowercase, like that. We gotta make it lowercase. Put the lowercase on the if. Could I put it above, or is that bad? Is it a duplicate if the I is lower and uppercase? Yeah, so I think, well, actually, I don't know. So, yeah, so this I is the same as the rest of the I's. So it doesn't matter what the case is. So do not change the casing, but we want to change the casing because if we put in this, then it's going to see this I and it's not going to be the same as that I. It's going to say these are not the same case. Right? Surly back with the clips. It's case insensitive. Is it? It wouldn't be, would it? It would be case insensitive once we made it that way. Else. Right, you don't want to worry about the case, so that's why you're lowercasing it. Yeah. Okay, let's go down before const, turn the string to lowercase string equals, okay. I can't just do this. You reran the stream. You're watching it from the start 2 times. Whoa. You do need to change the lowercase. That's what I thought. Hello, just hanging out doing homework. Nice solution you have working. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out. It makes sense how I have it. You have to reassign it. You can reassign to parameters and set it equal to string. So are you saying we have to have a new string? Like let new string be like that? And then it would be new string dot length, right? No, just string. Okay. Okay. Does lowercase do it in place or does it create a new string? I think it just does it in place. I'm not sure. Either would work. Are you saying either would work where we don't reassign it? Okay. Now I just have to think about how we just add this. When we just say string I plus equals, would that add it to our whatever it's called? Used to love all the single-use types of functions instead of trying to learn functions that chain parameters like Christmas lights. And what are we doing here? Let's go back to the first conditional because we're not adding it to the object. Are we? Yeah. Yep. Yes, you're right. So how do we do it? We say, wouldn't we say plus equals, like plus equals, or count of characters plus equals this? Wouldn't it be count of characters plus equals this, right? And then you're saying, wouldn't the else equal 1? Oh. Well, so the thing is, we want it to be in our thing as like A1. So how do we put it in where it will show up like that in our object? Count of characters string I plus equals 1. No, baby. Count of characters plus equals 1. And then this would just be count of characters like that. We're just setting it to 1. Okay, so we're saying like this equals 1. All right, so we did this, we did that, and then we say, we get out of our for loop. If it isn't in the object, you'd be adding it to the first instance. Should these be reversed? These should be reversed, huh? Because would it do it? Because it's not theoretically added, right? No? The conditional is right? If you find it, then it's a duplicate, though. Right. Which we're accounting for, correct? Right. This is right, though I'm actually not sure why this is right. I could see it being wrong. That's the if. We're counting occurrences, right? So now we have to do this part where once we've gone through the whole string input, note if there are any numbers above 1. Okay, so now we have to say, if, another if maybe, if count of characters, well, because would we have to do it in the for loop to get the I in there again? No, the for loop is done. So could we just do I? if this is equal to or is greater than 1, right? Return, because if it is, we can't just return 1. We want to return the amount of them it is. We can't do I. Let's use object.entries and filter. What the fuck is object.entries? Object.entries. I never heard of it before. Object.entries object. What is it saying to me? Wait. Returns an array of a given object's own enumerable. What the fuck? String keyed property key. What the explain like I'm 5. An array of a given object's own enumerable string keyed. Explain like I'm 5. What is the sentence saying to me? Go down and see more examples. So if we do this, it's got foo and baz. So it's saying that if we grabbed if we do object.entries, we're seeing each of the keys in the object. Is that the correct interpretation? The map object holds a consecutive list of objects that denotes a key value pair. Are you saying we should use the map method? Am I understanding that? Each key value pair becomes an array within an array. Inception. Disgrace. Has anyone seen the second Lion King? Did I understand this right? Not the way you'd go about it. You wouldn't use object.entries? What I want to do... Let me just stretch my little wrists. Awesome Lion King 2 caught. Thank you. Thank you. Wait, are you giving me the answer? I can't look at it. Is it the answer? Is this the answer? Wait. Spam chat. Spam chat. I can't look at it. Thank you. Keep it up. I'm squinting my eyes. Thank you, thank you. We're almost there. Okay, we're good. Good spamming. Right, so I know we know the answer. We're working to get me there, right? And whoever else is like, where do we go from here? Which is me. So I want to say, I want to look at this and I want to say, hello, I'm looking for anyone who has more than 2. And then I want to say, hold up, what is this? This is a number 2. Add it to the count. And then we want to return the count. Your 2-year-old was wondering if those small orange pumpkins with white dots are edible. Hold up, what pumpkins are these? I think most pumpkins are edible. I don't know, I think most of them are edible. You cook them in there, you eat them? They're kind of big, I think you can eat them. We digress though. You eat a lot of decorations. What are we putting, an array or a boolean? Well, I don't think a Boolean would be helpful here because we're not trying to return true or false. We're trying to, yeah, we're returning a number. So if we have like B2, C3, all right, we want to return the number 2 out of this object because this is more than 1 and this is more than 1. The number of distinct duplicates, right? So how is it that we can grab this and we can look at it and we can say, hello, are you more than 1? No. Bye, Felicia. Are you more than 1? Okay. Thank you, baby. So maybe we make another count. Filter. How am I keeping track of the output? I was going to make a variable. We've got the count of characters, which is our object. We could use filter. It's been so long since I used filter. Hola, Rufio. How's your day going so far? It's so good, even though we're doing a 6Q. How is yours, Omar? Filter, given a word. Oh, I can see why you wanted to do this. Smart. Sitting up. Right. So if we did filter, we could filter out anything that is 2 or above. You've never used filter anywhere. Not necessary, but it will work. One or above, right? Well, it wouldn't be 1 though. It would be above 1. It would be this. Greater than 1. But, wait. Words, words.filter. So it would be, oh dear. It would be, let's say, count of characters.filter given a key value pair. Filter out all the ones that are, or does this keep all the ones that fit the criteria? Given criteria, right? Stop it. We're counting in the for loop, right? So should we keep it up with the for loop? Well, more or less, a client decided to cancel our meeting, which makes me think she has really no interest in hiring me. Boo. You're working on a Next.js plus Strapi project to evade your anxiety. I mean, at least you're being productive about it. Yeah, whatever matches the filter function. Key value pair is greater than 1. And then if you trigger the if statement, you can just plus equal a counter variable. What do you mean? But we can use it on an object because an array is an object, right? Just trying to give you an answer. Don't read it. Wait, what? Can we really not use, because isn't an array an object? It's not an array though. Arrays are objects, but not all objects are arrays. Well, fine. Well, fine. So, would we theoretically be able to do it in here though? Or how? There are different kind of objects in JS. Arrays are one of them. Yes, we could. So just, if we finish it, then we can say, another if statement maybe. Count of characters string. Oops, sorry, baby. I is greater than 1. Then we still probably want another variable up here, right? Let final countdown at one point, you know when there's more than one. Already up here, we already know that. We could add it here, and then we could say we could add to final countdown. We could add 1 to final countdown. This seems redundant. What am I doing with my life? Is this redundant, chat? Okay, so this is our for loop. In theory, we could return final countdown, maybe. Will this work? Oh no. Who knows? No, it didn't work. No. Damn it. Do I have a favorite stack now? Like Mern, Mevin, Mean? No. Unless it's Express React Node. What about CERN? SQL Express React Node. Is CERN a thing? The if statement doesn't work. My bad. It adds every time a character repeats. Your favorite stack is the pancake one. What type of pancakes? Blueberry? Chocolate chip? Regular? It adds every time a character repeats. It adds every time a character repeats. Right, which is what we wanted, right? Right, let's think about why this doesn't work. And we're gonna do it by console logging every step of the way. Console.log final countdown. Not a number, not a number. That did not work, that did not work. I think if we use object.entries, we can see if the second element in each inner array is over 1. Okay, we'll use object.entries. Hi, Dad. We are working on... Let me share the link. This Codewars. We are trying to make a function that will look through a given string, count if there are any repetitions not based on case, we're making everything lowercase so it's counted the same, or if there are numbers, right? And then we're trying to return the number of duplicates. So if there's, like with this one, it's going to give us 2 because there's a duplicate for A and a duplicate for B. Dad is here? You got the milk finally? And we are finally going to be using object.entries, which I never heard of before today. It got the milk. It took me a while. You got the milk. You got the milk. Right, so how do we use this thing? Again, what object.entries does is it gives us the keys, right? So what is the structure of the input? What do you mean? I can show you what we have so far that isn't working. I do ask, don't give me the answer, just give me help. So we're making a function or an object, then we're making everything lowercase in our input string, and then I made a new variable to be our final countdown. Then we did a for length. Then we are saying if in our object we have this this letter already, then add 1 to it. Else, put it in there and add 1 to it. Look at set. Set or object.entries. You know that there's greater than 1. Can you check for something else to find out when you shouldn't change it? Wait. I'm really trying to understand what that means. I should understand this. What? Wait, this doesn't already work? It does not, unfortunately. That's what we're getting. You already completed that one. You remember using a regex variable. Do not speak its name. You don't need an object here? You don't need an object at all. Isn't set an object? Why not both? We'll do both. That's it. Set is really just an object after all. True. Set won't tell you how many characters are duplicated, just that there are duplicates. Pass the object into object.entries. So patient. Okay. Okay, so if we do... ¿Cómo lo hacemos? What? We can just say object.entries. Object.entries, count of characters. Then what do we do? 0a, wait. Foo, object, foo, bar, pass, wait. What? Wait, I just want the key. Okay, you know what we're gonna do here? Ooh, fuck. Oh, fuck. We are going to console.log this baby because I don't know what's happening. Right, so it's getting A1, B1, C1, D1, E1. Undefined. Undefined why? What's undefined, baby? What's undefined? That seems problematic, doesn't it? Is expected to be the total number of dupes, not how many dupes of each kind. Final counter. Babes, what is undefined? What is Natasha Bedingfield? See what kind of characters looks like after you've done the loop. It may not be what you expect. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Console.log count of characters. Okay, we're just gonna look at one at a time because my brain, can I handle this? Right, so 6, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Undefined. What the fuck is undefined? What is undefined? Oh, wait. It might be final countdown. Wait a second. Yeah, babe, sorry, baby. What is undefined? Tell me. What is undefined? Where is this from? Add a string in the console log. No. Wait, what do you mean? What am I logging? I'm logging after the for loop. I'm logging the count of characters. Well, what is this? Why is this? Where is this coming from? There's nothing else here. String count of characters, like the parameter string? No, right? What's undefined? What's undefined one? I say, what the fuck? The return of the function is missing, so it says undefined. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Look at the top log. Okay. Thank you. I don't know why I had to think about that so hard, but I did. So this is what we're getting, okay? And then we split everything up, and that's cool. But what then do we do with it? Return it. Okay, and that's where you wanted to filter it. You wanted to filter key value pair. Key value pair is greater than 1. No. Wait, greater than 1? No. Not that. Sorry, baby. No, I fucked up. Nothing was greater than 1? Yeah, apparently not, because maybe I'm writing it wrong. I see, right? Why are we just grabbing 1? That doesn't seem like it would be a good thing to do, because it's not just that. It's not just the first one or the second one. It's not done though. I didn't get it because we should be getting 1. And would this work for like this one, for example? No, because it's just an empty array. It's finished. Close the browser. Do dot length. Where? Where? Not there, apparently. Okay. I don't understand why that worked. I'll be honest, I'm pretty lost right now. But this appears to be the solution. I will put it in Codewars, and then we gotta talk about this because I have no idea what happened in the last 5 minutes. How can I be happy about this win when I don't feel the win? We did it. Okay, why? Let's Backstreet Boys this thing and tell me why. I was lost with you, but I think I understand. Love the accent. We need a redeem of it too. Okay, where I'm confused is we did object.entries, okay, right? And just to illustrate my point, we'll do a console.log object. We'll just copy this thing. Copy it, okay? Copy. Right. So, and then for temporarily, we're just gonna do this. So right now, we're getting this thing. Okay, we got our key value pairs. Cool, cool story, Hansel. Then we add the filter, and what's the problem, my love? We're filtering it, and we're saying, given it the key value pair, I don't get this part. I don't get the one. Why would the one work here? Because then we're only grabbing, it's not even the first value, it's the second value. You needed to know how many letters had duplicates. The filter filtered out everything that didn't have a duplicate. The filter gave you an array, so now you know how many elements were in the array. The one is grabbing the values of all of my pairs. Why is it doing that? How is it doing that? Why? How does that do that? We're seeing if any of the elements has a number greater than 1 as a value in the key value pair. Right, okay, I get this. I don't get the 1. Object entries array returns an array of tuples, array size 2, like key, value, tuples. How is this a tuple? Array size 2? Oh, because there are two values, two objects in the array, two things in the array, values. Because each pair is an array now, and the values are at index 1, 0, 1. Oh, okay. I get that. Because we're looking at this thing. We turned our object into these tuples, and then we're saying this is 0 and this is 1. And we're looking at the 1th, and then we're saying if any of these are, we want to keep any of these that are greater than 1. Okay. Now, why does .length work? So when you filter on the array, the argument of your filter callback function, key value pair, looks like A1. So by accessing index 1, you're saying, I'm looking at the value of the object in that key, okay, and comparing it to see if you've already seen it, hence greater than 1. Gotcha. How many distinct dupes are there? We just filled out the non-dupes. So length tells you how many values pass the filter. So when we're looking at this thing, we're saying 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then we're saying all of that dot length, 0. And then we're saying 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then we're saying all of that dot length, 1. And then we're saying 1, 1, and we're saying all of that dot length, 2, right? Kinda. Great. Great. We did it. Does anyone else not understand? Were it just me? And then we'll submit this. And then I saw some of y'all put your solutions here, so let me look at them. That's one. And then here's the second one. All right, let's see how Josh, why did I read Johnny? Yeah, for some reason, Josh, I read Johnny Washy Wash. Johnny Washy Washy. You didn't get it? Do you still not understand it? I would have never attempted a 6Q on my own. Me neither. Thank Pumpkin for it. Pumpkin was like, we can do this with the power of friendship. And we did. It was rough, but we did do it. It looks to me the filter function takes an argument that is the object we are filtering. Honestly, that's a big breakthrough for me. Hope you see that. Looks to me the filter function takes an argument that is the object. And we could only do that because we did this object.entries, I think, right? Because it gave us an array. Chat-driven development. Everything is possible when we put our brains together. What kind of work? Teamwork. You know what I'm singing? I'm singing a song from a children's show that traumatized me when I would babysit kids. It was really disturbing, actually. But they sang that song and it stuck with me ever since. Right, so then you took const scene empty object, const count empty object. Then you said for loop for the const c variable of the given text. Then you change it to lowercase. You say if c is in scene, say true. And then add c to counts and set it as 1. Well, I don't understand this. Then say scene c is true. Josh, come back. Hey, OrangeBot. It's nice to see you here. It's good to be back. You think what he's saying is that the array is converted to a map. Using object.entries, it means that turns into an entry inheriting the object properties. I don't think I understand. Can you explain like I'm 5? Having 2 separate objects seems like overkill here. Only need to increment the output when you're changing the duplicates from 1 to 2. If you've seen it, it's true. Set count c to 1. Okay, but what does this line do? What does this do? Because we already said if it's in scene, then it's true. Add 1 to the counts. But what does this thing do? And then say it's true, then change it to true? Let count equal 0 for const n of object.values. What does object.values do? Change it to true if it's not already true. Okay. Scene is redundant in your opinion by having a value in count is already a Boolean check. True's meaning you've seen the letter once. Next. Object.values. Why can't I spell object? Returns an array of a given object's own enumerables. Is this not exactly the same as the thing that we just did? What is objects versus values versus entries? The method you're trying to hint at when you said object has more methods. You've seen too many times where if something that's not a Boolean cause problems, so you're always explicit silent casting to the Boolean is something JavaScript and other languages should never have allowed. What is silent casting? You think it keeps them in an array for every object, curly bracket object in JS is an object from your understanding, and then you populated it with key value pairs because an object is capable of that by default because it's a JS object. So then it needs to read the entries and print them properly through the object entries constructor. Whoa, wait. JK. So it's grabbing. Is it grabbing the numbers and counts? Is that what's happening here? And then it's adding n? I don't understand that either. Silent casting. You cast a variable, but you don't ever tell anyone. Shh. Don't tell anyone. It's a secret. This looks very smart to me and also very confusing also. More concise for sure. We could use object of values instead of entries. So object of values just grabs the number? Is that what's up? Is that what's up? It just grabs like this, for example? Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. It looks like that's the case. Object of entries, object of values, and object of keys have very similar utility functions. Entries returns an array of tuples. Values and keys return an array of either the key or the value. Oh, gotcha. Okay. I understand that. Damn it, why do I keep doing this? So we're grabbing the value in counts, right? And then we're adding it to count and returning it. And only duplicates would get to this point? Where's Josh? Explain this. Explain yourself. I mean, Josh did. If I can scroll back up to the... I don't know. Regarding the silent casting, you can mitigate that issue by using a map. What is silent casting? Silent. Oh, fuck. Silent casting. Yes. It's not this, right? What is it silent casing? Yeah, apparently I do need to ask. What the hell? I don't know what it is. Implicit cast? Implicit cast. JS? Come on, Copilot. Occurs when a language automatically converts one data type to another during operations. Not silent casting, but silently casting. Silent? What? What is What is silently casting something here? Basically, JS will say, this is a string, but you're using it in a Boolean check, so we're going to test it as if it's a Boolean. This is the silently casting. If check should only ever work with Booleans, but JS says, oh, I'll turn it into a Boolean for you. Look up truthy versus falsy values for JS for this to make sense. Every value has an inherent Boolean value. A value is considered truthy if, when coerced to a Boolean, it evaluates to true, like 0, or false, or numbers other than 0, or arrays, or objects, or functions. A value is considered falsy if, when coerced to a Boolean, it evaluates to false, like false, 0, minus 0, big int 0, empty string, null, undefined, not a number. So we're saying we're changing it to, we're saying if it's true, though it didn't have a Boolean value, it would be truthy given that it's something and not like a null value. There are basically only a few faulty values in JS. Whoa, wow. Let's look at intelligences. All right. Duplicate count text. Count equals 0 if not text, return count. If not text, return count. CNC in this case is only ever going to be undefined or true. The triple equals true isn't really necessary, but you do it out of habit now. Let alphabet be an empty string. Whoa. Whoa. For let I equals 97, I is less than 97 plus 26. What the fuck is this? What? Intelligence? Intelligence, get over here. What is going on? We're going to iterate over letters for no reason. Intelligence did say this was a more playful. You needed an alphabet and didn't want to type it out. So then you make alphabet plus equals string from character code I. So you're just going through the whole alphabet. Oh, okay. They're looking at the ASCII code. Then make lower text. Wouldn't we want to like declare this before this moment? Or shouldn't it have like let or something? Then you make text to lowercase. Then you say for the character of alphabet, of which we've done them all, if the lower text, and then we split the character from the alphabet, maybe? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what's happening here. Taking the scenic road. You want to be lazy, so you didn't use let var or const. This isn't Golang. You need to use something like var, let, or const here. Or you forgot because of Python. Intelligence, will you por favor explain this? Because what is happening? What is occurring? It's not quite letting us get the whole thing, is it? Gatorade. It walks through the alphabet, splits the lower text string into an array, what is this doing for us? it's splitting. It then checks the length of the array. If it's more than 2, then there are dupes. So lower text is all lowercased, and then we're splitting it up by the character of the alphabet. Splitting the array where the character appears. Oh. And then we're saying how many times it appears. And if it's greater than 2, add to the count. Const never changes, ever. That's good to know. Var means it changes, and it cannot be undefined. And let means it can be undefined or vice versa. Okay, but didn't we use const here and then totally change that thing? Didn't we change this thing? Didn't we change it? So like AABCD, empty, empty, BCD, that's 3. That's 3. Yeah, const values can change if they're object in JS. Only if they're objects. Just always use const until you want to reassign to it. No need to remember var. I've never used var. I always use let. The parts of the object can change, but the object can't change itself. And const really should be unassignable, but it's a little long to type out. See, to me, the reassigning thing and the changing seems the same. No. Wrong. Rufio. Wrong. It's not the same in JS. It is in other languages. Rufio wrong. That's her last name. Rufio wrong. Think of it like DNA. DNA is a const because you can change the parts, but you can't reassign the whole thing to a new DNA. ABCD split by A and empty string BCD.length is 2, so no dupes. What is the problem? We're done with it now, but it is this one. Well, we did it. Oh dear, Codewars. Indeed, we just keep doing it to ourselves. All of you are here in your free time, voluntarily doing Codewars. What does that say about you, What is problem? Generally motioning to everything. You're just lurking. Nothing wrong with that. You're saying that you're not subjecting yourself to this? We're gonna check our Git, and we see that we have everything we've done today is not staged, so we're gonna just stage that thing. We're gonna do Git at all because it's the only thing. And then we don't have to do this, but we can look at it again and we can see that we've staged it. That means that we can do stuff to it. Now we're gonna say git commit -m, because we're just gonna do it for today. And then we're gonna say add coding challenge for for 9/30/25. Now it's committed and we're gonna push that baby. And then when we look at this, we can see nothing's happened for today except for JK LOL smiley face. Smiley face. Look, I must be streaming somewhat regularly on this day. The hell? Here's the one that uses a set. Yes, I'm still alive to everyone you haven't chatted with in like a year. I have no judgment, Knight. I also did not respond to anyone for a year. More than that, now. Regarding const and being able to mutate arrays and objects, it'll help to learn what a value type versus a reference type is to understand why that works. Yeah, I don't know the difference. We'll put it up here. Value versus reference type JavaScript. I skipped all the reading when I was learning, like a silly girl. Uh-oh. It's because you did it in TypeScript. Uh-oh. That's okay. All right. So for this one, we are saying the text is a string, and then we're going to be getting a number out of this whole ¿cómo se llama? Function. Then we're assigning constants as a variable, and we're assigning it to set, which has the type of string, make it a new set, and doing the same for t. Then we're taking text, our parameter, and then we're lowercasing that baby. Then we're going to do a for of loop where we grab a const c in text, and then if we say if in the set s, if it has c, then add c to set t. Otherwise, just add it to set s. And then we return t.size, which I imagine gets how big the set is. What's S and T stand for? So they're for each set. So S is a set, an empty set, and T is a set. Vamos, Rufio. Commits for the next recruiter. Ah, yeah. I'll be like, have you seen that I've committed once a week for the past 2 weeks? And to fully understand values and references would probably help to learn a language that has pointers. What are pointers? How many languages does Rufio know? One coding language. All of them. You don't get it? Do you know what a set is? Dismissing the E. I mean, we could have named this set, which is an object. We could have named this set as set 1. Why are there 2 sets? Well, one set we're adding stuff to initially, and then the second one is saying, is this already in this other set? If so, add to it. It does make sense to me, actually. But did that make sense, my explanation? If not, will someone do it better than that? You suppose so? Wait, that makes me suspicious that I didn't explain it well. What I would do differently in this is I would have just had more descriptive names for your variables. Because, like, S and T is cool, but what do they mean? You know what I'm saying? Why not call it, like, initial set or counter set? Use descriptive variables. God, I sound like a nerd. We're all nerds here, though. Can you believe I'm here on my soapbox like, I think we should use descriptive variables for better readability for fellow coders. You did the same, committing MD documents to your coding notes. Yeah. Sometimes I just check how green that table is. There you go. You didn't even think to use 2 lowercase. It's just I think in general, just, I mean, that will make it so it works better. Because like if you have an uppercase I and a lowercase I, there'll be different variables, right? No, Nerdist, please. That was it. That's all I had. I don't have very much nerd in me because I don't have very much knowledge in me either. Though, I mean, obviously, I needed a lot of help to do this, but I feel like I did pretty well until we got to the object of entries. Gonna go check the daily LC? Nerd. Respectfully. It's a good thing. I'm so not going to check the daily elite code. Good job. Good job. I have a question for y'all. Do you watch my YouTube channel? It's okay if you don't. You're all here, and that's what I generally prefer, is people to watch me streaming. But if you do watch my YouTube channel, and you watch the previous streams, how much of them do you normally watch? There's a YouTube channel? Indeed there is. Let me see if it's a command. Nope, it's not a command. Let me just go find it really quick. It's just like an archive of the previous streams. And I made it because sometimes, or inevitably, all the streams do go away, you know? That's it. You don't watch YouTube. That's fine. No sabía que tenías uno. Let me check it out and subscribe. You are so welcome to do that. Feel no obligation to. I'm not trying to get everyone to subscribe to my YouTube or anything. But why I'm asking is because I spend so many hours editing these VODs when they're done and taking out pauses basically, and it takes me so long. And I just wanted to know if, 1, any of you watched those, and 2, if any of you care if I do that. Or should I just put them like unedited up there? No, because you default to looking at Twitch for my content. Again, that's generally what I prefer. I like having all of you here. I don't do as much on YouTube. It's just an archive, but I'm just trying to figure out what best to do for the people who do watch there, you know? Ain't nobody got time for that. I, like, straight up, I'm so irritated with the current last week's stream because I've been, like, working on it for, like, 3 or 4 hours. And I'm like, I don't care that much. And if they don't care either, then I don't need to put in the effort. But if they do care, then I'll put in the effort, you know? Unedited is fine because you can mess with the playback speed. Okay, fair enough. So and skip around, right? And also it's like, all right, I see on average people watch like 9 minutes of the streams on YouTube, which is fine. They're like 3 hours long though. So how worth it is it for me to edit the whole thing if they're just watching 9 minutes of it, you know? That's too long. Use resolve and ripple cut silence. What is ripple cutting? I use DaVinci. Yeah, I use DaVinci Resolve. I don't know what ripple cut silence is. Ripple cut silence. Think about how we watch Leon's vids. Lots of questions can come up and new answers can come about. Wait, what do you mean? Cut him up into bits or shorts. It's just auto cut silent parts. That's what I want because I manually do that. I literally manually do that. It's the worst. I really, really don't like it. But at the beginning of each of the YouTube videos, I'll make a little, what's it called? A summary. And I'll be like, hi, I'm Rufio. I'm blah, 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 blah. In this video, we blah, 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 blah. And I can do that because I just watched the whole thing because I spent 5 million hours editing it. So I'll have to maybe click through if I don't have to manually do everything and just see what I talked about. Maybe highlights. You really prefer those videos watching other better coders but as entertainment, so maybe 10 minutes or shorter. Yeah, I thought about like, for example, something I thought about today, it was like, what if, for example, in this VOD, we talked about CYC and we talked about the coding challenge. What if I cut it apart and posted each one individually? Like, posted the general video for whoever wants that. But what if you just wanted to see the coding challenge, you know? But that's still going to be over an hour long. LMFAO, I couldn't imagine giving that much of a shit about my VODs. And here I am, like, I'm on the edge right now. I only started streaming again recently, and I'm like, I love streaming and I hate editing this. I hate it so much. Bro, timestamps. I do timestamps. I do. If you look at them, I like literally go through and I add timestamps. But do you mean differently? You could do that in a playlist of all coding challenges. There is a playlist already on the channel that is coding challenges. Ask ChatGPT what it would suggest to do. You're right. There's a better way to do this, it sounds like, than what I've been doing. But it sounds like I shouldn't be spending 5 million hours manually going through and cutting out silences. I just wanted to make them a little shorter so they're a little more accessible because they're so long. It sounds like torture. It takes me so long. It's the worst. Let's look. I'm going to freaking show you. We'll see if this crashes my... Well, you know what? Maybe I'll put a picture of it on my blue sky because I don't want to open DaVinci in my computer to be like, you're streaming and opening DaVinci right now, I'm going to die. 5 million hours seems like a little bit too much. 3.75x speed got your back. Is it really even that fast? When I watch it back through to get the timestamps, I watch me on 2 times speed. Use a program to identify the quiet parts. I used TimeBolt for a little bit, and then I stopped because I stopped doing any of it. And I feel like it cut off parts that I wanted, but I don't even remember. You prefer timestamps over me having to edit, but you don't know if timestamps take long too. Timestamps take me half of the length of the video because I'm watching on 2 times speed. Automate this shit. There are better ways to do it. We're coders here. How dare you, Rufio, for doing it this way? Almost everything you watch on YouTube, you do while doing other things or going on the subway. You prefer narrated stuff because you don't like watching things on your small screen. Code, for instance. Something I try to do with these VODs is every comment that y'all post, I like to read aloud in case someone can't look at it. Or if I am doing something, I like to kind of try and narrate what I'm doing, though it's a little more difficult when it's coding. Speed up, slow down, and rewind and advance any HTML5 video with quick shortcuts. Wow. Is this the 3.75 speed? The timestamps can be generated during the stream itself. Make a key on keyboard keep track. Wait, what? But then I can't put just... and then put whatever the timestamps are later? It can go way faster. Just completely level up and go 5 bajillion times speed. Timestamps is empty brackets. If key pressed, timestamps append this moment. Wait, where am I making this though? Or is it like a script? HK Pi? Ooh, things I never used before. Doesn't mean I can't, but Alright, kiddos. It's also something that limits how long the streams are because I don't want to spend like a 4-hour stream. You know how many hours I spend working on a 4-hour stream? Good night, Pumpkin. Thanks for hanging out and helping. Literally a separate process that listens for something like Alt-S. What? Oh. I'll have to like look into it. Let's raid somebody. kiddos. We'll take suggestions, but we want them to have 5 viewers or less. It maxes at 16 eggs. Wow. I wanted to be someone who's talking to us, maybe, or that we can see their faces. I generally like seeing their faces. Not that many people. I've never really been able to get into the, what is it called, VTubers? It kind of freaks me out a little bit. Does it freak anyone else out? Yeah, those anime people, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of cringe. Like, I think there's an audience for everything. I just can't watch it. I don't know. I want to see someone's face, you know? Anyway, I'm trying to find someone, but I gotta deal with the commercials first. Nice hair braid. Thank you. My hair was doing crazy stuff, and I was like, I can fix this. It's shy people, so sometimes, so you're right at home. Are you shy intelligence? BS. Rufio, buenas noches, colega. You enjoyed this exercise. You like my vibes and community. Thanks for hanging out, Omar. Buenas noches. You're okay with faces. Oh, my God. I'm just hearing me. Ugh, this is why it turned me on mute. Well, this is going to be fun picking a streamer because I'm trying to hear them talk and I'm just hearing me like 15 seconds after I talked. That's the bane of raids. Yeah. Wait, only one of you tell me what you think of this person. I don't want us to technically raid them yet, so only one of you see if they look like they're an interesting person, because I was trying to listen, but I just have so much reverb. Sure, suggest a way. But they have to have less than 5 viewers. And I want to see their face, and I want to hear them talk. I want them to talk, if possible. Or I should say if probable. Because a lot of times, if they don't have anyone talking to them, it's hard as a streamer to talk to people, you know? Because there's no one there. So, when I first started trying to stream, I would try to just talk anyway, as if there were people there. And then eventually there were people there. He's a chat GPT. What do you mean? Oh, he is using chat GPT, isn't he? Wait, is he vibe coding? We've given him 7 viewers so far. Y'all, we can't all be here. I'm gonna leave because we can't all be here because we're being secret. Any other people that y'all think we should raid? Help me. Help me. I should not judge some of these titles, but there are some interesting titles here. I talk to myself 24/7. Same. Do you know how good we are at stealth? This person has 1 viewer and goes up to 7. So good. So good at stealth. Granted, there are 53 of us, so we did pretty good at it. You talk to yourself 48-1. All right, I need a volunteer to check out another streamer for me. I'm going to give you the link and only one of you look at it, okay? Who wants to raise their hand? There are 14 people in his thing now? Is that what you're saying? Stupid ads, bro. Fuck all the way off with that. Did you get ads on my channel, y'all? Because I tried to turn them off as much as I could. Damn it. Okay. Put hand down. Okay. Omar, it's your job to look at if this will be a good streamer, okay? Only Omar. I gotta figure out this talking thing, hearing myself talk. Can't do it. I got work. Go full bed, rats. You got some at the beginning, but you're also getting some at the top right corner of mine on desktop. I think the sidebar things are fine or whatever. I just hate it when it goes over my talking so no one can hear it. The football's on, Sarah. Go on then. Walk forever. Walk bye. I feel like this person looks like they'd be good. I can't hear them, but they look like they're probably good. They're in Godot. Godot engine. Oh, I can see Omar's in there. Omar doing the homework. So how much software engineering have I done / learned in the last 2 to 3 years? Almost none. Like, yeah, basically none. I was working on a project for my cousin, a photography website, but then I gave up because it was too hard and I was so rusty, and so I just, what is it called? I just Squarespaced her. But I would like to work on that project and try and do something else for it, you know? My bio says I'm full stack though. Yeah. So, yes. So, my background is that I got into tech in 2020. I started learning to code with 100 Devs, which is a full stack online engineering boot camp / agency. You learn full stack JavaScript, and I did that. I looked for a job for 11 months. I got my first job as a software engineer at a small startup in my state. It was really good. Had a job for 11 months, and I got laid off. And then I don't know what happened with my brain. And then I just fled into obscurity for 2 years until 2 weeks ago when I decided to go to the CYC conference, the Commit Your Code conference that is in the title. And there's the URL for it. And I thought I might, if I was going to show my face in person, I might as well show my face on stream, and here we are. So I've been doing property management. So like, you know, I fix drywall and I get plumbers to come and things like that. But I haven't been coding. Remember 100 rejections? I was doing that a while ago, and I still haven't finished it yet. We need to finish that thing because I got my brother doing 100 rejections, but for dating. I was like, surely, brother, if you ask this many people to go on dates with you and you seek to get 100 rejections, not in the way that you're trying to get rejected, but that you're just freaking trying, like, surely it will work out for you at some point. And he's kind of been doing it. I think he's at like 15 people. You got a comfy job that you make really good money at. That sounds great. That sounds like the life. I'm happy for you. You still haven't finished your version because you got busy with other projects. I didn't know you were making a version. That sums up most of my existence. I don't know what my brain did. See, it's more like complicated than that. I took my layoff too hard. I decided that was it. I was never getting another job again because I wasn't smart enough, or it was too much effort. I was comfortable where I was at. You know, things like that. It's all cop-out. All of it. I should have done more. I should have done better. But saying should have doesn't fix that it didn't happen. And it doesn't make me feel better that I didn't do it, you know? But 2 years isn't that much in the grand scheme of things, you know? And it is my chosen career path, and we can get back to it. And I might not be the best coder now, but that doesn't mean I can't get better, you know? You could vibe code in a few hours, LMAO. You'd rather do more complex stuff. That's fine. That's a lot of rejections. Ouch. Well, I hear it's pretty rough out there. But he said that it's been good for him, the rejections, because he's getting a tougher skin, and it's not as big a deal when he gets rejected, you know? You're back. She looks nice. She's developing some game loop in JS. Yeah, I saw you over there. I have it open on my screen. I saw you commenting. All right. Well, then we have someone to raid. Is there anything else y'all would like to ask me before we go raid? If not, so sneaky. Rejection is healthy. You're right. And the 100 rejections, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, we tried to make an app a couple years ago, or we started to, where the idea is you're trying to get 100 rejections for job stuff. So you're not trying to get rejected, but you're trying to put yourself out there. And the idea is that you won't ever get to the 100 because you'll already have like tried to network your way in and done coffee chats and applied, you know. When am I back? Y'all, I think I'm liking doing this every week. If I did a poll about when would work for y'all on my Blue Sky, would you answer it? Genius. It's a game you're supposed to lose. I know, I'm a genius. Thank you. Call me Rufio Genius. Thank you. Do I have a specific schedule? No, that's what I was just asking about. Is there a specific schedule that works for y'all? Like for example, this is in my evening. Is this too late? Should I do it in my morning? That would let Europeans and people on further sides of the world watch, but it would also be in the beginning of a workday in the US. 100 applications equals 100 rejections, ghost note, emails back, horrible interviews. Okay, but I didn't say 100 applications. No, no, no. No, just applying. No, no, no. You need to do more than just apply. You need to network. So it's 100 rejections, but you've networked your fucking ass off. You've done this and that and this and that. It's not just like boop, boop, boop. Because if you just do that, you're going to get like 500 in no time. This time's perfect for you. You'll answer for sure. If y'all, so I got rid of my Twitter because Twitter special. And now I have a Blue Sky. So I have been trying to put updates for when I'm streaming on my Blue Sky. So if you don't follow me and you want updates, there they go. I also been trying to put it on my story here since Twitch added a story thing. And then I also put it in the 100 Devs Discord. Your goal isn't a job. Your goal is your first rejection because that means you have the guts to let someone else say no rather than saying it to yourself. There you go. You think I should just do honest best for me? EST 6 to 11 is good. Maybe we'll like play around with it. I just feel bad maybe like 1 week it will be in the morning and one it will be in the evening, and that way it can be more accessible to people. But we'll play around with it. I'll see what people seem to be doing, you know. You become a pro at interviews. Honestly, it's the best way to get good at it. The best way to get good at it, like everything, is practice. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, follow my Blue Sky if you want to see the updates. You don't really have to. You're not obligated to do anything. Or I'll try and put on my stories or in the app, and then we'll try and put down a schedule or something so that I'm more reliable, because I know I'm not giving anyone any notice, and I'd like to. It was nice coming to stream from the huddle on Tuesdays. I don't want the problem with that is I don't want Leon to feel obligated to raid me every time, you know? It's really nice. I mean, I have doubled my normal amount of viewers, and I had like quadrupled before at the beginning, but I don't want it to be an obligation at all. Since you play Dark Souls, it really helped to see rejection as fails as part of the process. Whoa, deep learning from Dark Souls. Now, every time you applied or have a difficult client, you think of them as a difficult boss. I love that. Now go for it, lol. It's there for the taking. It's always nice to see me when y'all see me. Well, I love having y'all here. You make stream a good place for me and for everyone. Like, really, it's y'all that make the stream. So thank you for being here. Should we raid? It would just help you remember, regardless if Leon raided, that I would stream every Tuesday after Huddle. I'll think about it. We'll play around with it. I'll try and give a few days in advance before my next stream, though, and maybe that, even if we don't have like a set schedule yet, at least you'll have notice. So hopefully this channel is good. Omar said that it was. And we're going to fix this next time so that we don't have crazy reverb. What is the huddle? So in 100 Devs, It's so interesting. I normally just pick one part of the username and say it, and I see dad, so I'm like, in the huddle, dad. The huddle is a twice weekly Discord meetup in 100 devs to talk about the job hunt, and like any questions about software engineering and learning that people may have for the teacher, Leon. It's not recorded or anything, but it happens every Tuesday and Friday. A cult. Oh my God. But it's a good time. And today I did this right after the huddle ended. So is a cohort 3 ever going to happen? I don't know. I'm not in charge. I'll hang out if there is. You've definitely been out of the loop and haven't seen anything posted. As far as I know, they want there to be, but there isn't anything concrete happening yet. Danny has to commit to CYC 26. Yeah, that's what Leon said today, is that there has to be another CYC 26 for there to be a cohort 3. Think there's any benefit value for someone who already has a lot of industry experience? If you're interested in mentorship, absolutely. Or like, for example, Intelligence here also has been in the industry for a while and goes in and like helps and answers questions for people who are asking. Or like you could be a mentor. There are lots of experienced devs who are in there trying to help out. Love mentorship? Well, let me just give you the link. Yeah, there's the Discord. Hang out there. I think everyone would really greatly appreciate it. It's always helpful to have devs who have more experience, lift everyone up to your level, right? There's also an open source project that could use help. Could you drop it in chat? How do I say your name? Cascadez? Drop it in chat. Is it the open source for 100 devs? Once you get in, you won't want to come out. Stop making it sound like a cult. We're not a cult. We're just a very loving community. Look for the together thread in the Discord. Hotel California. You'll never leave. Nah, but for real though, 100 devs is a great community. Like it's gotten so many people to get jobs, and it's very supportive, and everyone helps each other, and it's equal opportunity. 100 devs is the reason why I have as successful as a Twitch channel as I do right now, because I was streaming before and I got up to 7 viewers per stream. Now I have like 30 a stream. And for those of you who don't stream, that's like a crazy amount. No one has like 30 viewers per stream. It's only the wildly successful people. I feel so lucky to be on the stream team. Thank you, Intelligence. Is this the open source? Because I actually didn't know about it. Oh, very nice. All right. Okay, it's not a cult. It's a scam. Take it back. Call it a cult. I prefer the cult. I can put my stream schedule on there. I could on the 100 devs. Normally what people do is they just put like right before, I don't want to. I think we're supposed to be fairly conservative with like what we put in the stream team channel, because it pings everyone. And also if it has to be like coding related. So if I do a drawing stream, it won't be in that channel. So for everyone who needs it, don't give up. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and try even if you fail. Oh, I like it. It's going in my notepad. Oh, put stream in the Together app. Oh, all right. Thank you. I actually did not know the Together app was a thing, so I freaking will. I freaking will. I've been so out of the loop. Oh, maybe I should do it later. It's opening shit up. Do y'all use the Together app? You have more devs than users? Okay. Okay, I will do it. I will do it. Was it made by 100 devs? Okay, y'all, it's like 8 p.m. Do I eat dinner? I'm not really hungry. I ate an apple at 2. Buy 100 devs, 400 devs. Ooh, very nice. I will definitely use it. What do you have to it? Wait, what do you mean? For dinner or for the Together app? Liquid diet. This is Gatorade. I would be making sausage and eggs and heating up some vegetables. That's what I would be eating for dinner. An apple curl dinner? It wasn't supposed to be dinner. It was just the last thing I ate. It was apples and walnuts, and I think that's really yummy. I can't eat apples unless I have walnuts with them because I'm tired of the way apples taste. But if you put in the walnuts, it's a good mix. Yummy, you should try it. Just like take a bite of the apple and then take a bite of the walnut and chew them together. Would recommend. Quite healthy. Your dinner's a banana and a cup of cafecito. Ooh. If that's what you want it to be, hopefully you ate a big almuerzo. You meant the sausage and eggs? Oh, the sausage and eggs is good as well. Sausage is my favorite meat, as previously said. But it takes a while to make. It takes like 15 minutes for me to make. I digress. We're talking about dinner. Any other questions for me before we raid? You know what I use all the time? The Windows key V, and then I look at all the things that I've copied. It's so useful. Did y'all know you could do that? No, I digress. Proceed. Everyone wants to know what I'm eating for dinner, maybe, if I eat dinner. It's not working on your Mac. Get out of here with your Mac bullshit. I don't know what the equivalent is for Mac, actually. Vamos para allá. Proceed. Okay. I see how it is. All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I had a great time, as always. I love to see all the old faces and the new. And we'll be doing it again next week. Who still uses a Mac? Yeah, seriously. No questions. Just don't watch paint or drywall paint dry. Jesus. All right. Let's go raid Hyper Game Dev. Spread some love. Hopefully everything's good. And I'll stop hearing the reverb. And I'll see you next week. Bye.